it's time. It's that time again, exactly 3 p.m.
Exactly 3 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time on a Monday.
Exactly.
This week, we're going to keep covering a few current events, and we're going to dive deep into all that is geeky, gamer, and podcasty. I am Ken Howl, here with Bill Bunkum. Thanks all lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt, for the score, and Couchfire Media for the video production, as well as Trois Relay Productions.
Whatever they do.
Clearly, they've not been doing it since 2023. This is the Geeky Gamer Podcast. Tonight, with Ken and Bill, we're going to dive deep into some Dreadlore, and we're going to talk about some current events. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, not a whole lot. I mean, we had a GGP earlier this week, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We did. We've been doing it at all hours of the day and night.
We've been
every day of the week, whenever we want.
We've been pushing the midnight oil, or the 3 p.m. oil.
That's right, pushing that 3 p.m. oil. I don't know what that means. I need to get an oil change. Anyway,
I got one yesterday. Yesterday I got an oil change.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Huh? How much was it?
It was $50.
Wow.
Is that good?
I think it's like 150 out here.
Is it? For an oil change?
Yeah, like they get you, man.
They get you. You're done.
There's no oil out in California.
They mine it out there.
They mine it? Do you mine oil?
I don't know. They dig for it. I mean, it's underground.
Drill oil. I don't think you mine it. Maybe you can. I mean, it'd be kind of funky. You're like sitting there, like hacking away, and you're like, "Oh God, oil." Actually, that's what happens in the Beverly Hillbillies, isn't it?
Yeah, they were just digging.
Well, he shoots the ground.
Oh, he
misses the rabbit.
Yeah.
And crude comes out. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Changing the oil. Yeah, so this new season of GGP has been interesting. I dig it. We keep on having so we have like the last maybe 4 guests from season 1 still scheduled, and the idea was to move through those guests and then segue into season 2, where we're actually doing games. Thing is, they keep on canceling.
Yeah.
So,
well, they're not just canceling; they're canceling for some catastrophic reason.
Yeah, like world-ending reasons. It's like, oh dang. Well,
we tried.
I mean, one person like family stuff, other one's like extreme sickness, all kinds of stuff, and I don't know. That's what they say.
That's what they.
I hope they're lying.
Yeah,
I hope they're lying.
I do too. I wouldn't wish that on any of our guests or non-guests.
No. That's right. Our non-guests.
I want them to live. You can also not to go back to some sort of
please do.
entry stuff. You can also join us on our Patreon. Be an exclusive Patreon member at patreon.com/Geeky Gamer Podcast. We've got all kinds of different levels, and you have access to all the podcast apps. You can listen on Spotify. You could be an anonymous angel for $5 a month, or you might like a named geek for $10 a month. We'll give you some shout outs.
Might be a named geek.
Yeah, you might be. And you can also get digital downloads for $20 a month. And that includes just access to some of the stuff that we don't share with everybody. If you really want to see us breaking down and the bad parts, if you want to see the behind the seat, the real, that's what I think the Patreon should have access to. You want to see like
So Ken and Bill just going at each other.
Just tearing each other up.
It's pretty much what happened. Yeah. And that's what you would get. The other thing they will get is a digital download of some of the professional and original art by Mr. Ken Howl. A select piece from one of our games that Ken feels is super, super cool, and you aren't going to get any other way. And maybe we can even NFT that shit. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Sure.
If we make it, we're designing it right now. If we NFT'd it to like, there's only 20 of them or something. Not a bad move. You know, crypto, man.
Yeah.
Crypto, baby.
Speaking of NFTs, I think we should
wait.
Use that as.
Is that really? Is that what you're gonna do?
No. Well, I mean, it's a segue. Oh. I'm doing a segue.
Oh, yes.
Into security, and some stuff like that. And so the segue is school is back. College, high school.
School is back.
And, you know, a lot of the topics are blocking games on cell phones and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, or blocking cell phones in general.
I mean,
blocking games in general at schools. Yeah, I don't really care either. But what's trending is these things called unblocked games or IO games, which you can play on any web browser, I presume. And it's hard to block access to them. So if you have a kid in school who's supposed to be studying, they could just get on the browser and go to one of these pages and log in and play these I guess they're freeware kind of game. I don't know much about the games themselves, but they're hundreds of games. They're HTML5 or Flash. They're kind of easy to use. Apparently there's a short, it doesn't take long to learn how to do it. And apparently there's secure because you don't really have to, there's not a lot of IO. It's just an interactive game play. I don't know the security on these things, but they're supposed to be secure. And it's just one of those things that has googly trended. The trend it's trend. People are looking for these games, and I presume because they're back in school, and there's restricted access to gaming on certain pages and site locations. And plus the hot topic of Virginia has basically banned schools.
They banned schools. Sounds like a Virginia thing.
I banned cell phones in schools.
I
was doing something well. So public schools in Virginia have till January 1st, 2025 to play video games before.
Interesting.
And then, yeah.
I mean, we didn't have cell phones when I was in school. I don't think you did either.
No, definitely not.
There's no such thing
we
as
didn't
a cell
have
phone.
pagers.
Well, I mean, you could have had, or I could have had a pager, but I didn't. Like, maybe somebody had a cell phone, but the thing is like when none of your friends have cell phones, there's no reason for you to have one because you can't call them anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you can call their house, but you're like, okay, I'll just call you when I get home, or I'll go to the payphone. I mean, that's what we did. Or you leave messages with people. I
don't think they had. It was the mid 90s, and I don't think they had cell phones. And if they did, it would look
cell
like
phones. There were big
it
ones.
would look like a huge battery pack. It was a whole deal.
Dude, if you ever want to watch the early seasons of the X-Files.
Yeah.
It's like, I think 89 or 90 is when they came out, and they have cell phones. It's awesome.
They get the brick out.
Look, yeah, they're like, I'll call now. It's like, whoa.
They could use that as self-defense.
Yeah, dude. You could beat the hell out of somebody with a cell phone back in the day.
I'm looking it up. The X-Files cell
it is
phone.
kind of strange. Like, obviously the temperament in school now, it's got to be different. You know, we had computers, but like, we really didn't use computers that much. That's a new.
Yeah, this is the wrong X-File. I gotta look old school X-File.
Yeah, you gotta go old school, baby.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. They're much younger now. So, well, and
That's a good show.
This is 96. So I was in high school then.
Yeah,
he's got a gun. I don't see any cell phone yet. They're gonna call somebody at some point. I'm hoping.
Well, that's the thing, is they kind of didn't. Like, here and there you would see them.
Yeah.
And it was cool because they were, you know, the FBI.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, the FBI has those. They can call from anywhere. That's cool. Yeah. Anyway, banning cell phones in school. I mean, I'm coming at it from a perspective where, in my mind, you don't need a cell phone in school, because I didn't need a cell phone in school because we didn't have them. So it's not that I didn't need one. It's that they didn't exist. Nowadays, that may not be the case. It might be extremely useful, you know, especially considering, I don't know, school shootings. So, you know, interconnectivity is kind of a thing. I think if it's a situation of people are using cell phones, or students are using cell phones to cheat or to be distracted from class, I don't know if banning cell phones is the way to go about limiting that.
Sure. Well, I mean, it seems like even taking the cell phone away is a security risk from anyone, you know, for any reason ever. Like you feel uncomfortable. When was the last time you didn't have your cell phone with you in public somewhere?
Earlier today.
Really?
Yeah. I leave my cell phone at home.
Do you?
All the time. Yes.
I did that until
Because
like the second or third time I was in a dangerous situation in Los Angeles, and then I stopped.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Like, I'm like, you know, again, the interconnectivity, it's assumed, right? But in our world works on it. I'm not trying to diss cell phones. But you don't have to have one on you. And moreover, I'm a bit of a Luddite. You know, I understand that. It's just the problems that a cell phone solves are, you know, numerous.
Sure.
But it also causes problems, such as if you text me and I don't respond in a requisite amount of time,
sure,
whatever expectation you have, then that can actually cause beef.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you think you can just immediately, or why would a person think they could immediately contact someone? Well,
Sure.
because you normally can with cell phones, but it's a privilege. You know, your cell phone has to be charged. You have to have it on you. You can't be raining outside, or whatever it is. Like, there's a slew of reasons why you wouldn't be able to. You don't have signal, whatever it is.
Time and place. Yeah. You got to know time and place as well. Like,
and we have all these little safeguards to try to mitigate that fact, as much as people want to rile against the necessity of cell phones. And, oh my God, if someone were to get to be in a situation, oh, I need it, blah, 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 blah. There's tens of thousands of years of no, you know, humans without cell phones. We're very capable of dealing without them.
sure. But the
Even
cell
in
phone,
our changed society.
the cell phone has some wonderful things like voice recorder. You just you got the whole lecture in front of you. I mean, I think that classes should record and probably post every lecture anyway. I think
I see you in terms of classes.
Yeah. I mean, I think should be on
technology's got to be
you know, on the school to do, even because like
but here's an idea though.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. So cheating on a test,
Mhm.
Okay. Well, back in the day, it's pretty obvious what that is.
You could
Right?
do
It's
that
having
on.
the book open.
We used the TI-85s to do it, to cheat.
Hell yeah.
It was so
TI-85s.
hard, but you learned it by the time you input all that information into the TI-85. You knew you knew what you did because it took so long to do.
Right. You're studying by doing it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, nowadays when you can use ChatGPT or whatever, to have an antiquated system of learning and then apply technology to it, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like, why is it a bad thing that a student can just open up their phone and find the answer? Why is that cheating? Like, it's one thing if it's a book. It's like, well, you're not always going to have a library with you. Well, actually, you're always going to have a library with you, right?
True.
Isn't that what we were just saying?
Yeah.
So if you always have this, and if we assume you always have this, and it's always charged, and it's always the best of situations because you always have it, right? And it's useful. You do, in fact, always have it. So why are we training people to not use these? Why not have these and train them discipline?
Yeah,
with
discipline for sure.
So you don't
because
train discipline by taking this away.
I agree. I think that taking the phone away is not the answer. I think putting the student into a different situation or like put it up in a bag, but I think, if you're a teacher and this is something I have no experience in, it's very difficult to get somebody else, kid or no, to like, other than physically taking the phone from their hand and holding on to it, and that's a huge distraction that interrupts the whole class.
Teaching's a hard job.
Yeah,
I've been a teacher.
Job. Yeah.
And people don't, especially in our culture, in the West, we don't respect teaching. It's if you can't do, you teach type mentality, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Teaching is a talent and a skill, and it takes so much energy and effort. Not anyone can just teach. That's not truth. That anybody, oh, you're good at guitar, you can teach guitar. It's bullshit. No, you can't. I mean, how many times have you had a teacher that you're like, they know it, and I can't learn anything from them, right?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is that's part of how you train teachers too, is understanding that, hey, look, the way the world is everyone's going to have these. And moreover, this isn't a problem because we need to teach people, our population, how to live in our society. And if you're going to have these, this needs to be taught.
Right.
Hey, how are you supposed to use this? How do you actually text on this?
Sure.
What's good? What's bad? When is it appropriate? When is it not? And how can you leverage this to actually do better in your life?
That's a great idea.
That's useful.
Because it goes beyond the classroom. Because when you're outside of the classroom and you have this and you can't limit yourself to get off your fucking phone. I was almost run over yesterday by somebody who was on their phone who just went through a stop sign. I was a pedestrian. Yeah. There were people stopped at the stop sign.
I don't know why you walk. It's
dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous. I walk for exercise, for the little measly amount of exercise that I get in a day.
That's when I didn't have my cell phone, by the way, is when I was on a walk.
Yeah. So
I was like,
right. So like, the person was eating their phone is what I call it. They were basically at the stop sign, having a little chow on their phone, and they missed the entire. They almost got side swiped. There was a whole thing. They missed all of it because they do not give. And taking away something that is always on you.
It's not that they don't give a fuck. What it is that they're incompetent.
Yeah, they're addicted. I think it's a drug.
Oh, of course. Of course, we'll habit, all these things. I mean, so I think everybody agrees with this. The idea is to train people how to properly, I mean, it's the reason that you have sex education, right?
Sure. You gotta know how to do it.
You're teaching, adolescents how to do it. That's kind of an odd statement to think about. Hey, public school, we're going to teach you all about sex. Well,
they could go a little
because
further.
you know they're going to be doing it. You know they're going to be doing it, and it's what humans do.
Right.
So train this. What's etiquette? And if you do it right, if it's able to be done right, then people can use their cell phones. And then you can have a whole thing where like, okay, we're going to have a test. It's going to be a super hard test, no cell phone test, and make it, gamify it, make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have things like, hey, so this world is digital. And if you want to have a business, guess what you're going to have to do? Be SEO, do marketing, get seen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Holy shit. I would take that class. I would go to high school and take that fucking class.
Well, the alternative is
useful.
Actual punishment for using your cell phone.
The alternative is Ken has frozen.
Am I done? Am I over? I think
no,
it's you.
You're back.
Oh,
is it me?
Yeah.
It's you. It's not me.
I think it's you. It's not me. I see me fine. I see you fine. You didn't even freeze.
I'm fine.
But the alternative is literally punishment. Like nobody gets punished for driving around with a cell phone anymore that I've seen. I mean, because
there's no traffic cops out here, dude.
It's not something that happens. People are not, everybody gets away with it all the time.
How do you enforce it?
You have to pull everybody over.
Why is this up? Well, I was looking at it because I'm an Uber driver.
Yeah.
I was looking at it because I have maps.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like, you can't enforce that.
Mm-hmm. So you got to teach them.
That's just the thing.
Well,
yeah, teach them.
Society's gonna fall apart anyway. That's why we want to play video games. Escapism.
All right. So all this is excellent.
Yeah.
Let me restart my stuff, and you can segue us into a game. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be like 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. Well, a little heads up on that would be nice because, as you can see, my image is completely distorted. I guess I could go over here, and this is when the podcast just falls off the ground because it was not expected. I wanted to talk about unblocked games because it was like just in schools we don't have the self-control. So I think self-control is super important, a task for us to learn. And bands like this aren't teaching self-control. They're teaching just punishment. But you don't learn from punishment. You learn from positive reinforcement. You learn from education. You learn from taking time and energy to be a part of society. Anyway, I know this is riveting. One other thing I'd like to talk about is our Patreon. If we don't get any Patreon members, our podcast may just turn into me talking to you. So it would be best if we could get some Patreon membership going and a drive going, and you too can join our Patreon at the patreon.com/Geeky Gamer Podcast. That's $5 a month for our basic level. It just we need the support. You could listen to a podcast while driving instead of texting, and this would make you feel safer on the road because you could see more things on the road.
Yeah,
thanks.
my computer just needed to.
Yeah, Sorry. It did. It was unhappy.
It was going down.
I think we should step into the actual show.
Yeah.
That we're here to do.
So we're gonna be in the world of Craster, which is in the book, the Dreadlore core book, the deluxe edition. And we're gonna be in this region of the northern continent called Daloon. We're gonna be in a region called Itausa. This is a province. All this is in the book near the back, around page 300. And yeah, a whole bunch of lore is in this stuff. You can find out everything.
More in the lore of the dread.
So many dreads.
So many lores. This is an interesting. I think we should zoom out just a little bit. This episode is 3.2 because in episode 3 we built characters in Dreadlore, and we wanted to do some deeper dives on the subject matter into the, maybe the more complicated games that are out there, and allow for more knowledge to be passed. And you said it was 300 something?
So when you're talking about the world, about page 300 is where it is, and we're going to be getting into it's just about the world. Mm-hmm. So the actual thing they're going to be playing through, this is just sort of backdrop, which is what lore is, right? Mm-hmm. But page 406, you're going to see the guilds of the Calgarian Empire, which is the sort of dominant empire. And specifically on 406, you'll see the Merchants of Kar, which is going to play a big role in this episode. We're in Daloon. All this starts, let's see, about page 320 on to we really won't get too much into religion, like 415 or so. So a good 100 pages of just straight lore and stuff. If people want to get in on that, the book is available. Okay, so we're gonna do the playbills today. This is a new way of doing character creation that I've been working on, and we did one of them last time, where you played the believer / cultist. What the playbills are, they are not character classes. So what they are not is character classes like in Dungeons and Dragons. They're just kind of like archetypes. It's a direction for your character. So that way you can create a character very quickly. And you can there's a whole slew of different playbills. So, for example, you get to pick one of these, so I'm just going to name them off. There's the believer / cultist, the hustler, the creature, the butcher, the tinkerer, the white knight, the horror, and the hero. You actually played the horror last time, not the cultist. Yeah, that was my bad.
The horror.
So the horror. So the idea then is, in normal Dreadlore, you open the book and it's like, cool, what do you want to play? And you kind of have this tyranny of choice. There's so much you can do. It's not hard. It's just lots of brain power to make a character. If you have a very solid idea, you can make a character in 10 minutes, 12 minutes. It's quick. But for someone who's new, or someone who, is kind of just, you don't want to have all the brain power just to make the character. That's what these playbills are for. So it's giving you a prompt. Do you want to be the White Knight? It's going to give you a character and a bunch of choices, a bunch of multiple choice questions pretty much to choose from. Simplifying the process, you make a real character that way, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You could play the White Knight and then take magic stuff and be a wizard who just happens to be this white knight type of character, or you could be a tinkerer that turns out to be, a rogue type character, or whatever you want. So you're not hemmed in by these things. It's just initial choices. Okay. I got a whole plan that I'll go forth with and tell you all about in the Patreon, as well as the Dreadlore newsletter, but that doesn't have to do with GGP. So which one of these you want to play?
Give me 1 second. I was trying to see if there was a way for me to, and there isn't the way. Well, maybe there is.
Eventually, I'll have them. I am building the character sheets on Google Sheets right now, and eventually, I'll just share those with you. We can put some art to it, and you can have that. But I just don't have it yet. They're in notes right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the hero today.
Ooh.
Is that
okay? You're gonna go heroic.
Because why not?
You're not a budding hero. You are a hero this time. Okay.
An actual hero. A non.
Do you have your character sheet? A character sheet.
I'm gonna do this one without printing out. I'm gonna save some trees and just fill it out. So I'm just going to do fill and sign. So I was trying to find a way to...
An editable character sheet?
No, I've got an editable character sheet. I was trying to find a way to show this character sheet on...
Well, I mean, you could post the PDF.
Yeah, I can't fill it out. Actually... Maybe I can't.
I don't know why you can't screen capture that.
Because this one computer's got 3 screens on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna do it on the iCloud. I'm gonna do it on the cloud.
On the cloud.
I think I can do it this way and have them both opened and edit it at the same time. If I save, every time I save, it should update. So I should be able to just doing some thoughts.
Yes.
Right. But it won't update. I'll have to, preview doesn't update, which is stupid. Like, why don't you update preview?
I got nothing, man. It is all beyond me.
Everything.
When it comes to the science, and all of this. At any rate, so how these playbills will work, or how they do work, I'm pretty much codifying the entire game. And when it's done, I'll have a set of 8 playbills and all of the abilities and the ninja gear, which is equipment, and trinkets and all that stuff. I've started making charts or tables with them, and you can just roll randomly for them. So the goal, having played a few of these rules light games, is if players wanted to not have to make those choices, you could make a character in Dreadlore, boom, pretty much rolled randomly, and get right into gaming. And then it's much easier while you're making decisions playing the game to say, oh, well, I want to try to sneak past this guy. Okay, well, what do you bid? What's the trait? Oh, well, I have a free trait. I'm gonna bid sneaky. So now I have the trait sneaky, and that's a lot easier to do than front loading it all. And that's cool. So you can just have 6 players and be like, okay, everybody roll your D8s, your D10s, your D100s, whatever. Boom, 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 boom. Here's what you get. Dang, 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 dang. 15 minutes later, you're playing. That's my goal. And you can have a very compelling game a very long-standing game if you wanted, because these are real characters. They're not just pre-generated. Hey, you've got thumbnails, and like, I don't know, what do you come out with your loadout? Like in a lot of the rules light games, it'd be like, you have a pack of cigarettes. That's what I got this last one. We were playing this game called Mothership. It's an awesome game. It's essentially you're playing Alien.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called Mothership. Hopefully, my buddy Jeff will come on and show it to us. But we go into basically like this alien encampment, like in the movie Aliens, and we have random loadouts. What do you get for your equipment? And one of my buddies, Tim, who is also a Patreon member of Dreadlore, he had a flamethrower, right? I had a pack of cigarettes. So it's like sometimes those random tables are truthfully random, and you're sitting there like, why would I go to an alien planet where there's obviously something going on with a pack of cigarettes and that's it?
Yeah.
So the goal here is it's going to be useful stuff you can play with.
Well, maybe the aliens were allergic to tobacco.
They might be.
Or lighting the cigarette would mask your smell, so they couldn't find you so easily because everything smelled like.
That would be hilarious. You just smoke. And you're like, I don't care.
I mean, there's a line. They can follow the trail, but it's not pinpointable. Everything within say 100 feet is.
Turns out xenomorphs are like highly susceptible to nicotine. They're all just smoking there, playing jazz in the back in the end. Anyway, okay.
So it does update. If I save it, it updates the character sheet.
Good. Good. All right then. You're playing the hero. The hero is a character who fights for the good fight above all else.
And
they could be basically any background, but are geared towards winning the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the top of your character sheet,
I should be sharing.
you're gonna have. Yeah, you should. At the top of your character sheet, yes, yeah. Oh, cool music. I can actually hear it.
You can hear the music?
Yeah.
Oh.
You were jamming this whole time?
Yeah.
Didn't tell me?
I'm always jamming a little bit.
All right, at the top of your character sheet, you want to write in a place that's kind of not there. What does it say? Harry Darling?
Yeah, Harry Darting.
So he's a hustler. Or no, he's a hero, sorry.
He's a hero.
Right, so you have your name. He's a hero that does 1 and 2. And the 1 and 2, those are free traits for you to pick.
That wins the day and gets the girl pregnant. And
all right. Your tier of play, which the new character sheets, the new playbills, will be in this order. Yours is not. This is your title, or it'll say character traits, that first section, the right column, tier of play. You're going to be 2, which is seasoned. Now, the Arbiter makes these choices. Okay, your focus, which is just to the left of that, is burning. Focus is pretty much always burning.
I wish I would keep the...
Oh, does it like keep on switching around?
Yeah. So the focus
So you
is
have to
burning.
do it and then save every time.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does.
Well, maybe fill out a few things and then do that.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Focus is burning.
Yeah. Burning my focus. Right.
Which I don't think we use our focus well. Is that the one where like we could bid it and that's like it's an important feat?
Yeah, fate is one and focus is one.
Oh yeah, focus. Fate.
Yeah.
Fate is the one.
Bidding your fate does a special thing. Bidding your focus does a special thing. But this is sort of a simplified. Those are kind of extra rules.
Got it.
But you can still do it.
Yeah.
All right. Right. So I'm just going to keep on going.
Yeah, keep going.
Your plug is to fulfill your contract.
Fulfill contract.
Alrighty. Your period of life. You get to choose this.
Rough.
Child, young, hardened, aged, or venerable.
I'm going to go with venerable.
Okay. Yeah, rough is one of them, but I didn't make that one of the options. There's actually a few options that I took out. Just for simplicity's sake. All right, your race. You get to choose Dinna, which is essentially a half-elf. Snowfolk, that's either a kind of like a hobbit, halfling, or think of a forest child,
a small forest being.
Well, you're not really small. You're about 5 feet.
Okay, so smaller, smallish.
Yeah. Yeah. You could be Myroshi, which is a very sinewy, think of aboriginal, very clever, technological humanoid. You could be crossed, which means you're a mix of some beast and a Dinna. Or you're a Zunth, which is a reptile person.
I'm gonna go with the elf. What is the half elf? The Dwayne?
So Dinna.
Dinna?
So you can call it Doween if you want.
D-A-O.
D-A-O-I-N-E.
I-N-E.
It's pronounced Dinna.
Dinna.
But people will pronounce it however they want. Okay, that's your race. For your sort, because you chose Dinna, you can be Sibleen or Shielta. The difference is this. Sibleen is like a high elf. Shielta is not.
I'm going to go Sibleen. Sibleen? How do you spell that?
Yep, Siblin.
Sibleen.
So I'll give you a little bit of flavor text on those races. All of this is in the book, by the way.
Flavor it up.
So Dinna, which is the race you are the most populous. They are the people of the world. You can pretty much find them anywhere. They're extremely resourceful, and they work well together. They also fight each other all the time. So most of the problems are kind of like in the world are because of the Dinna.
Yeah.
They stand around 5'8" to about 6'6", so roughly human height. They live about 40 seasons, which is around 100 years. All right, so for Sibleen, what they look like. Sibleen, they consider themselves purebloods. That's the difference between them and the Shielta. They distinguish themselves with their snowy white or jet black hair, their tall and imperious looking ears. They have very pronounced cheeks and foreheads and a general sharpness in general. Yeah, a general sharpness in general.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I said,
One of the worst things that can happen to a Sibleen is for their ears to be cut, and then they're called top cut flat ears.
Oh,
and
no.
They're like a normie after that.
Oh no, that's
so if you don't have big old ears, then people will wear like jewelry, you know, like prosthetic ears. Yeah, they're generally the ruling class or the aristocratic class. All right, that's pretty much them. Let me see. There's a little bit more. Okay, Those that avoid the sun have a hue to their skin that's slight and appears almost lilac or thistle. Those that spend their time outdoors might tan to an ashy gray or even charcoal. So, Sabline, they look pretty otherworldly. All right. Your origin. You can pick Daloon, which would be a mainstay. The Expanse, that's the wilderness. Azraelia is another Dinah Empire. Or Rainy, which is like the Amazon.
I think we'll do it. It sounds nice. So I'm gonna go with Azraelia.
Okay. So Azraelia it's in the south. Actually, it's where we played the other game.
Which game?
The Mulcipers Loot Flute. Azraelia is roughly based off of Persia. So
deserty.
Deserty, flowing colors, bright clothes, a very warm, full of etiquette society. But they have kind of this dark, sordid past, and generally the Azraelians are against the Calgarians. The Calgarians are the ones that live in Daloon, which is, by the way, where we're going to have this game.
Oh, wow. Uh-oh.
They're not always fighting. Sometimes they're fighting something. It's like China and America.
I mean, we're allowed in the other countries still.
Yeah.
And we can teach.
Azraelia and I'm sorry?
And we can teach. Chinese people can teach here. English people can teach and work and have kids and families.
Calgary and Azraelia are not currently at war.
Okay, good to know.
Now, there are these things called the Imperial Guilds. We'll get to that in a second. That's all lore, but it will play into it. Okay, your nature. You can choose cunning, opportunistic, resourceful, or scheming.
Resourceful.
Okay. Demeanor. Charming, restless, provocative, or focused.
Provocative.
Your swagger. Dapper, quick, unassuming, or slovenly.
You said quick. What was the first one you said?
Yeah.
Quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. Your demeanor. Quick, determined, charismatic, or inspirational. That's my bad.
Let's see. Which one was that? I was doing something.
That's for your swagger.
Swagger. What are just one more time? I got you.
Okay. Your swagger can be quick, determined, charismatic, or inspirational.
Quick.
All right. Physicality. Imposing, graceful, commanding, or resilient.
Graceful.
All right. Let's see. Your motto. Give me just a second and open this up.
God knows a way. God finds a way. God's love finds a way.
Lord. All right. For the greater good, for the sake of all, strength in service, and the other one is not there.
Okay, strength in service.
And then for redemption is the other one.
Strength and service. because why not?
All right. That is it for those.
Apparently, Strength and Service is a program that provides spiritual support and encouragement to people who serve others, including military personality and first responders. And so it's a company. Strength and Service to God, community. So
it is religious.
It's a religious thing.
All right. Here are your backgrounds. You're going to have 2 backgrounds.
Okay.
The first choice you make, you get 2 gifts for. The second choice only gets 1 gift.
Okay. Give them.
And there'll be some random rolls for it as well. So the backgrounds are as follows: apothecary, ascetic, which is a thinker or a philosopher or a hermit, devout, fortunate, so you're someone who is fortunate, mage, mercenary, ranger, the underdog, and warrior. So you get to choose 2. They can be the same one if you want.
Yeah, I think ranger.
Okay.
And then devout.
All right, ranger and devout. So for ranger, you get 2 gifts. For devout, you get 1. And I have a whole thing for that.
Yes.
Now. All right, so the first one is ranger. Okay. So you can pick, and this is the hero, right?
Yeah, this is a hero.
All right, give me just a moment. You can pick wild, is it wild?
Wild.
Yeah. Wild or where is it? Sorry. Or Strider.
Strider.
Strider's pretty cool. All right. So, actually, you get both of them because you're.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, that's your first one. So you get Wild and Strider. I like the idea of 2, but honestly, maybe 3 is better. Anyway, that's neither here nor there because I've already done all that. Okay. And that was for Ranger, right?
Yeah.
Good. So with Wild, you get at least I'm not going through like 5 different 5 different computers.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's only 1. I'm just switching a whole bunch. Come on, where are you? Oh, I'm in the wrong fucking deal. Ugh. Son of a bitch.
Well, we are building a character for a short game called, I guess they're playbills, and they're kind of specifically made short games for the system of Dreadlore, which is a really wild book. It's a set and setting. It gives you lots of information about world building, and it comes in a bunch of you got lots of lore and different gifts and abilities and character creation tools to be the background of any role-playing game that you decide to make.
All right, so for Wild, you get 1 light or medium weapon.
Okay.
And for Strider, you get 2 Theurgist gadgets.
Oh, wow. So like medium bow.
Yeah. And then the Theurgist gadgets will roll for.
Okay.
But put those in your ninja gear. Okay,
Got it.
so the other one you took Ranger, and then what was the other?
Devout.
Devout. Grounds. Devout. All right. For Devout and Hero. You can do no mind or all is given.
We'll go with all is given.
Right. For all is given, you get 1 pack of sacraments.
A pack of sacraments.
Sacraments.
Not to be confused with a pack of saccharin.
Correct. All right. So for Ranger, you're going to roll on the skilled chart, which is an ability thing.
Okay.
So you gain an ability from it. So roll a d12.
I actually have my dice.
Do it.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
Even though I think it would be fun, because I was thinking about this, I can do the rolls and share the rolls if I just use the dice generator. I think that'd be a fun thing to do.
Do it.
D12. Let's
Yep.
see. We got the D12. I rolled a 12.
Wow. All right. That means you have the ability as the shadow.
As the shadow. What a great
It allows you
ability.
to sneak better. And it comes with a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. No, it doesn't. That's my bad. It does not come with a +1. All right. Now we'll go to, that was Ranger, and then we'll do Fortunate. No, Devout.
Devout.
You get to roll on the mystical ability chart. Dun-dun.
All is given.
They roll a D100.
And the first number is obviously the first number.
Yep.
So we're going to go with 17.
17. You get the ability Blessing or Blight. What that does, the description is you can divine an action to be wheel, woe, rounds, or masked. And what that means, you can see if an action will be good for you, bad for you. Rounds is pros and cons, means it's both. And then masked means it's unknowable.
So what are those again?
So in parenthetical, it's wheel, which is W-E-A-L, as opposed to how the Kentucky people say my name.
Wheel.
Yep. Woe. Like whoa.
W-O-H.
No, W-O-E.
Whoa-wee.
You could do whoa. Rounds or masked.
M-A-S-T.
M-A-S-K-E-D.
And then I would love to have the meanings for each of these because I don't know what they are.
I just told you.
I know, but
right.
I was doing things.
All right. In the order that I gave them.
Yeah.
Good, bad, both, and unknown.
It's just your fancy way of doing stuff. I get it.
It's fantasy, man. You learn new words.
Your words, I mean, I wasn't, but they could have a different meaning than, I don't know what your meaning is.
All right. You got that?
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
All right. So that's what you get for the devout. All right. You got your gifts. You got your random ability pick. We'll go to derangements. You choose one of those 6. So attention, tics, phobia, personality, psychosis, or dissociative. Derangement is when you go nuts. How do you go nuts? That's what this is saying.
Gonna go with what did I do last game? I think it was disassociative.
I think it was dissociative.
I'm gonna go with attention.
That would make sense. All right, your traits. You have 5 free traits, which we can do when we're actually playing.
Sure.
And you have your major and minor goals, which are also traits. So on your sheet, they're kind of to the left and to the right, respectively. But that's something to deal with as we play. All right. Now we're on to the crunch. All right, go over to your aspects.
Aspects.
You're playing the hero. So, and you are tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
So your brawn is 4. Your mind is 2. Your wits is 4. And your grace is 4. And that's where the ranks are.
Ooh. 4244.
Yep.
Not the smartest tool in the shed, but that makes sense.
All right. All right, we'll go down to attributes.
Mm-hmm.
So your plot armor is your brawn plus your mind, plus any protection you have, which we haven't done yet.
And so that is 6.
6. Your wounds are 6. Your sanity is 6. Your sanity roll, which is not on that sheet, but just so you know, it's your D10 action die and your mind die. So it'd be a D10 and a D8.
D10 is my sanity roll.
Yeah, you see how you have those numbers written?
Yeah.
They would actually be written in the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And then where you have the numbers 4, 2, 4, 4, those would be your dice.
Oh, I get it. Like D8, D.
Yeah. D8, D4,
well, I mean,
D8, D8.
I just multiply by 2.
Okay.
That's how I figure it out.
Cunning is grace and wits. So that means you got 8 cunning.
Ooh, a lot of cunning.
You are a Dinah, so you have an extra. So you have 9 cunning.
9 cunning.
I know.
What cunning? Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
Do you want me to change up the music so it's not so?
Yeah, I would.
Is that what?
I feel like I'm in the loading screen for like 10 minutes.
Is it too loud for you?
No, it's fun.
We'll darken it a little bit and get it on the little darker side. Boots and cats.
Oh, actually, it's not that you gain. I was wrong. I'm sorry. It's not that you gain a point of cunning. It's that you gain a point of breath.
Oh, well, that's
I didn't
even
even
better.
know my own game. Yeah, you don't get an extra cunning. You get an extra breath.
So that's 4 breath.
Yeah.
But breath isn't as good as it used to be.
Breath is awesome. What are you talking about?
Well,
You immediately go to limbo and everything.
Yeah, but going to limbo on everything, you also have to roll to see if you age.
Well, it's always been that way. In fact, it used to be worse.
Really, it's like
Yeah,
the
it used to be
punishment
real
for
bad.
success.
Yeah, dude. I mean, in a game, like, for example, Punk Sickle ran a Star Wars game.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing, piece of shit Force users. A super Sith Lord comes out. We all spend breath and take him out. Yeah, he cuts us up pretty bad because it's limbo, but we just trounce him. And Punksicle like, I don't know how to have a bad guy when you can just automatically hit. And if you coordinate your attacks, you can just take him out. And I was like, well, that's the thing. It's a narrative game, so the cost of breath is mechanical, yes, but actually it's the player giving over control to the arbiter and saying, okay, you accomplish it, but this is how. For example, you lose an arm and you're blinded. Like, this guy's a badass and this is what the fiction says. So that's the cost of just being able to win. Okay. This is something you don't exactly need in this deal, but I'll let you choose. Do you want the ability Nobility of Focus or Wanderlust?
What is Nobility of Focus?
Nobility of Focus allows you to drop the load with 3 pips rather than 5.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and,
that's what I want.
Yeah, it's real nice. And Wanderlust allows you to bid a trait to lower a threshold with 1 when it comes to sanity. So you make sanity rolls a lot easier.
Huh.
You just be like, I bid this and it's lower.
Oh, yeah, let's do Wanderlust then.
Okay. So Wanderlust, what that does is
and that's
you can
ability.
bid a trait. Yeah. You bid a trait to activate it, and sanity thresholds are 1 less, which is pretty sweet.
It's just whatever you come up with -1.
Right. But that means if you upgrade it, you could have it as -3. Like, you could, if you have sanity rolls that are like threshold 6 and 7 that nobody can make, you can actually make those.
Okay.
And yeah. Anyway. All right. So that's what you get for being Dinah. Okay. You got your cunning, got your breath. Experience is 0. Advancements are 0. Pips 1. Narrative points 1. All right. We're going to do Ninja. Yeah.
1 second.
This is part that I don't have completed, but
how many advancements do I get?
None. 0.
Just
You're making a character. You have any? All right.
Right.
Roll a d6. This is for your armor.
Right. We'll see what it is. Got my dice rolling. It's all above board. Got a 3.
All right. You have heavy armor. Okay. Roll a d6. This is for your weapon or your second weapon.
Another d6. The second d6 is a 1.
All right. You have another light weapon.
Oh.
Or you have a light weapon. You have a medium weapon and a light weapon.
Yeah, I got a medium bow.
Examples of light weapons: a dirk, dagger, knife, small hammer, small hand axe, a blackjack, small sword.
I'm gonna go with the dirk.
Okay, so it's a long knife. It's for getting into armor and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's for killing someone is what it is. Like a Scottish blade. Medium weapon, you have a bow, right? Yeah. All right. For your other, see, you're a warrior, but that's not what gives you that. All right, roll a d6.
Another d6. It's a 2.
You have a soldier's bundle. All right, let's roll for your Theurgist gadgets.
All right. right.
So you have 2 of these.
Second.
So roll a d8 twice.
A D8 twice. Got 1, 2 D8, 6 and a 5.
All right. For your Theurgist gadgets. I don't know why I didn't put that in the table in the book. Okay, so a 6 and a 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you get an herbalist's pouch and an inventor's satchel. So you're satcheled up. You look like you're about to go shoot some film.
I know. I got like some gear.
Satchels, man.
You said an inventor satchel?
Yeah.
Jesus. I got some shit, man.
And then what else did you have for your ninja gear? Did you have anything else you needed to roll for?
I got an inventor satchel. I got an herbalist pouch. Come on.
I think that's it. Because you got a couple things for your backgrounds. Yeah.
I got what else do I have? I got a soldier bundle. Can I have a bag of like infinite holding?
No. That does not exist in this. I mean it could. It would just be a bag into the void, mm-hmm. which would not be a place you'd want to put anything. Right. Okay. So we're going to go to the abilities. So these are the abilities you can choose from.
Oh, I thought I had I get more abilities.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. All of those abilities you gained from your backgrounds. And now you get, and just bits and pieces. And now you actually get your abilities. These are the ones you get to choose from. So you are tier 2. So you get to choose 3 of these. All of these are at +1.
Okay.
Okay. So they have 1 upgrade each.
Wow.
All right. So choose 3 of them. You could also, it's not actually written in here, you could also double up and just gain an upgrade and then max out one if you wanted.
Sure.
All right. Strategic presence.
Mm-hmm.
Arterial strike. 2 is better than 1, which means you're using 2 weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Unbroken. That's resisting damage.
Sure.
Iron guard is adding to your defense.
Mm-hmm.
Approaching the Buddha with a sword.
Oh, I like that one.
That one's cool as shit. Black Agnes. This is figuring out defensive tactics and essentially lowering thresholds or increasing thresholds for your traps. Preternatural instincts is tuned into the mysterious, perceiving the unseen, and senses others don't possess. So it allows you to like know shit you shouldn't know.
Yeah, preternatural
instincts.
And so I get 3 of those?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with preternatural instincts, even though I can't say it. Unbroken, which is I think is pretty great, and approaching Buddha with a sword.
All right. So that's right. So these are all in,
and they're all +1.
Yep, they're all at +1.
Wow, that's pretty badass starting off.
I know. So approaching the Buddha with a sword is pretty sweet. It is a defensive type thing. It's been said that a warrior's weapon must become an extension of their body, an extension of their mind. there's a deadly focus you gain when wielding a sword or a weapon of similar make, which allows you to fend off multiple attacks with fluidity and ease that's mesmerizing. So when you activate this ability, approaching the Buddha with a sword, you negate any of the increases to threshold to defend yourself from multiple attacks. So normally, when you get attacked, you roll for defense. But every time you get attacked that round, it increases by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're getting attacked by 5 people, the 5th dude who goes is going to get a +4 on you.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they're probably going to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can coordinate an attack and just all get a +4. With approaching Buddha with a sword, you can do a Bruce Lee thing. And it doesn't matter how many people are attacking you. It's always as though there's one.
All right, I
very,
know
very good.
That's a Dolby thing.
Yeah. So the exception here to the rule means that upgrade gives you a +1 to your defense.
Mm-hmm.
So when you activate that ability, not only do you roll as though there's one attacker, you get a +1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's approaching the Buddha.
Oh, you get +1 from just one
to
attacker?
Defense. You just get a +1 to your roll.
Okay. Wow. I
To
didn't know
defend.
that.
Yeah. That's because it's upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
If it was upgraded twice, you get a +2. All right. All that's good. You also picked Preternatural Instincts, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you tuned into the mysterious, perceiving the unseen, and senses others don't possess. That's what that does.
Nice.
It's a perception thing. And what was the last one you did?
The last one is, give me 1 second. Too many mice, too many places, too many things.
I feel it.
Not enough smart. Unbroken. That gives me a D4 +1 on all attacks.
Oh, you got it.
Or, when somebody's attacking me. It's a defensive thing.
Yeah. Here you are, looking at the book. Yes. So you absorb 1d4 +1 damage.
Yeah.
But you can do that once per game session.
Because it's upgraded, you get to do it twice.
Correct. So you can do it twice. Exactly. Well done. You get a pip for that. Having
nice.
the book and reading it. Now also, that ability gives you the trait Unbroken. Mm-hmm. So you also get that trait. So you get it twice. Mm-hmm. You have the ability you can bid. You also have Unbroken as a trait, which maybe call it like something a little different. That way you don't get confused. That's my bad. Oops.
You get a second trait, an additional trait that is like a synonym.
Yeah. And for some reason I put Unbroken as it. It's like using a definition. It's like using the word you're defining in your definition. That's my bad.
We'll call it
Unbroken.
Ceaseless. Endless.
I like
incessant. Intact.
I like that.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. Those are your abilities. Your proficiencies. You just get a number, which 4. Is a psha. Nope. You get 6 proficiencies.
Oh, wow.
Because you're tier 2.
Oh.
All right. You done?
Yes. Give me 1 second. I like the way I like the new way of doing that. I think it's interesting.
Yep.
I think that
You think that what?
I think that I'm going to use unscathed instead of unbroken, or undiminished. What do you think? Unscathed. I think unscathed
is great.
I think unscathed. Love some.
Unscathed is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Without suffering any injury, damage, or harm. You want to take a short break?
Yeah, let's like refill our whatever and use El Baño and then rock and roll.
All right, I gotcha. And if you were wondering what we were doing today, we were playing, we're doing some character creation of a role-playing game called Dreadlore. This is part 2 of the series that we've been working on for a little bit. The music you hear in the background is all lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt, as well as art media production is by Couchfire Media. All the other shit that you see here, and like this, we are all Terroir Replay production.
Yeah, of course.
We'll be back in just a few minutes, so stick around. Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
We're back. This is the Geeky Gamer Podcast. Every single Thursday we're live. Whether or
Every
not
Thursday.
we have a guest that decides to show up or not.
Correct.
This is we are Bill and Ken, or Ken and Bill, however you want to say it.
As we are known.
We're listening to the music by all lowercase letters. Mr. Interrupt, Couchfire Media brings us production, and Trois Replay production gives us all that other stuff, whatever that is. Today we're doing Dreadlore character creation, and we might actually do a quick run through of a game.
Yeah, we're definitely doing that.
It's all possible.
So, oh my, wow, this is wild.
What? What'd you do?
I was looking at ChatGPT to help out with some math.
Mm-hmm.
The music might be a little loud.
Oh, I think it's loud for you.
Oh, maybe it's just loud for me.
I can
turn it down.
If you can turn the music down on your end.
I got it.
That would be good.
Okay. So we still need a roll for your fate.
Oh yeah, fate roll.
And I have a way of doing that in the book, but my buddy Jeff was like, I don't like it. It's a little confusing. So I asked ChatGPT to just math it really quick, and it gave me a bunch of examples with a D100. But it's a big chart, and I don't want to write out a big chart. So I was like, could you make it simpler? And it gave me an algebraic equation. It's your choice equals, and this is in parentheses, your roll minus 1 modulo 22 plus 1.
Yay.
Which modulo is, it's a mathematical term, but we use it in programming a lot to get certain numbers. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's not a hard concept, but I have to look it up almost every single time I use it. It's the not parentheses, it's the percentage sign.
Yeah.
In programming.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, if I remember correctly, what it means is if you divide numbers by each other, right? Like 3 divided by 2 or whatever it is. Instead of saying divide, you would say 3 modulo 2. Mm-hmm. And the answer is, if the division has a remainder, then it's whatever the top number is, I believe.
Okay.
I think. Otherwise, it's 1. It's something like that. It's one of the strangest things. And I don't remember. Like, it's one of those things where you see the answer, you see it all written out, and you're like, how does that work? So I think 3 modulo 2, I think it's 1. No, I'm sorry. Whatever the remainder is the answer. That's what it is. So, for example, I'm going to do this really fast. 3 modulo 2 should be 1. Yeah. So 3 modulo 1 is 0 because there's no remainder. 3 modulo 6 is 3 because 3 goes into 6 and you just have 3. It doesn't fill it out. Anyway, that's the answer. That's what it wants me to put in the book. Is this freaking algebraic equation with modulo. So we're not going to do that.
Yeah,
that is not what
more
we're doing.
Complicated than
It's not what we're doing.
Would imagine.
Instead, roll high or low on a d12.
All right.
Or any die.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that in 1 second.
Any even-sided dice.
I'm just doing...
So the way that fate... So for people to listen, the way that fate works, there are 22 choices. So the idea is you roll high or low, and that's going to determine the first 11 low or the second 11 high. So 1 to 10, or wait, is that 1 to 10 or 1 to 11? Yeah, 1 to 11 or 12 to 22.
I was looking for this page right here. That's what I wanted.
Right. So did you roll low or high?
A D12. I rolled a 1.
That's low. So that means it's the lower half. So it's 1 to 11. Roll your D12 again.
Okay.
And that will determine what we get.
I rolled a 5.
Right. Yeah. So you get 5. In the event that you roll a 12 on that, if anyone's wondering, you re-roll and you get a pip.
Ooh.
So the idea is if you're rolling fate and you keep rolling 12s, you actually can just gain pips.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you got a 5. So you are the emperor. That's your fate. Your fate is the emperor. You're going to get killed, and you're some Azraelian dude in the Calgarian Empire, and your fate is to become emperor. You're like Macbeth.
Yeah.
Agency over fate. So the emperor actually doesn't really believe in fate. It means fate is what you make, like Terminator 2. Personal authority, status, or power, or all. You are in command. You're the emperor.
Well, he's a hero.
Yeah.
He's a heroic hero.
You're a hero. You're a heroic hero.
He's the opposite of the last guy, the lizard with the heart of gold.
Non-heroic. Non-hero.
Not a hero. I feel like that's a trait that the other character that we made last on Monday should have, heart of gold. Because it's a lie. It's a lie.
Why?
It's a lie.
All right. So for the music, do you have something a little bit easier? Because this is great music for a little bit later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want something that's a little
You
bit
want to bring it back?
more in mood. We'll bring it back a little bit.
Well, if you can see
I'm nervous right now. I'm getting nervous. This music is like great for a horror film. Might be using this music for a horror film.
Yeah, do it.
Making some short films.
Yeah,
With your camera, by the way.
I love it. With your camera.
Thanks for the camera.
Well, I mean, yours.
Not my camera. It's your camera. I'm using it.
I hate iTunes. I hate it so much. Like, it won't switch the direction. There we go.
There you go. All right. So we're going to run through a short adventure. We'll see how far we get. Oh, did you do your plot armor? Because you remember you get extra plot armor for your armor.
6 and 8 is 14. Is it not?
Yep. Yeah, that armor gives you +8. And as you remember, the number of traits, including flaws, is that factors into the extra die it gives you. So heavy armor immediately has like a D8, I think. Wait.
Yeah, it's a D8.
Yeah. So it's just good all around.
But it's
also
heavy,
you do need
it's
to
noisy, it's cumbersome.
Yeah. You do need to pick a flaw. You did? Great.
Yeah, I got 3 flaws on that.
Nice. All right. So, your character has to have a flaw too.
Oh yeah, I need a flaw. I mean, I'm flawless. Yeah. I think that's the character.
Check it out. You can choose.
Okay, choose.
I don't know why I did that. It's weird. Obsessive, overburdened, driven, or conflicted.
Driven.
Okay.
Even though I think in my mind it would be funny if the flaw was flawless. Like they thought that they were always flawless.
Do that. I love that. Flawless. Do that. Flawless or arrogant, something like that.
Yeah. Arrogant. I mean, because that's the character.
I love it. Okay. Now we're actually done. And I can move this over to Ha and to Ha. What's your character's name?
1 second. No. What is a light weapon? What is the damage? Is that just 1d4? Is that correct? Yeah.
D4. Yeah. Light is D4. Medium is D4 +1.
All right.
Heavy is D6 +1. Great
Gotcha.
is D10 +1.
I gotcha.
And if you're using firearms, it's double dice.
I understand.
Which there are firearms, they're just Theurgic.
Yeah. In this game.
Yeah. There are firearms. All right, so you're playing the hero. And what is your name?
My name is Harry.
That'd be hard to write.
Harry Darting.
Oh, that's right.
Harry Darting.
Darting. Fur.
Darting. Harry. I'm Harry.
Dartmouth.
He's a hairy man. Harry Darting.
Darthin.
Okay.
You are an Azraelian. So, you're essentially an attaché to whatever invite you've been given to come to the Calgarian Empire. All right? You are here on official business. You have an official status. So in your ninja gear, you can have this. It'll be a letter of marque.
A letter?
It's M-A-R-Q-U-E. A letter of marque is an official scroll with an imperial seal. Now, it's not necessarily, written by the Empress herself. The Empress at this point is Julia of Roses, by the way. It's not necessarily her, but someone who can write these. Usually an executor is what they're called, or one of their underlings, perhaps a Malik or a sub-Malik. These would be the leaders, the heads of the guilds, and there are 8 guilds. You don't need to know that stuff. This is deep lore. Your letter attaches you, a call of duty, if you will, to the Merchants of Karr, K-A-R-R. So that is a guild. And they're one of the perhaps nicer guilds. They're more pleasant than some of the other ones. For example, the Ulek Legion, those would be the military people. They're not particularly pleasant to be around. Especially with Azraelians. Because they're the people that fight you.
Yeah, not
when that happens.
Not friends. Get it.
Yeah. Right. So let me hit up this page. Give you a little bit of the deep lore. All of these guilds are in right around page 400 in the book. So you can read at length about how they roll. What you need to know is the Merchants of Karr, or simply the Merchants, are the richest Burks in all of Daloon. So they got the money. They manage all major trade routes, sea or air, to and from the Calgarian Empire. They attract the likes of landowners, lawyers, small-time merchants, business people of all sorts, and of course, the Aristasi. The Aristasi being aristocrats. Affiliation with the merchants is almost necessary if you're wishing to do commerce in Daloon, which is where you are. You're in Daloon. Their responsibilities in the Empire are thus: property management, diplomacy, and tradesmen and trade laws. Okay? Now, why does that matter? This is the world that you're currently walking into. You are in the province of Itausa, or Itausa. This is central far east province in Daloon. So if you look at the map in the book,
what page is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you real quick. It should be 310. No, 320. Page 320 has it, although I don't have the provincial map in here. It will be in the next one.
Boop.
Yeah, that big old map. Dalton Anderson drew that map. It's a cool map.
Yeah.
And it's actually big enough. It's a high enough DPI to actually print out pretty large. So that will eventually be a thing. Anyway, that top continent that kind of looks like a turtle with its neck stretched out?
Daloon.
You see, that's Daloon. The center of it, to the right, that green spot, that's where Itausa is. It's extremely mountainous, and it is a borderland, which means it is a barony. That matters because that nor'easter sea to the east is filled with airship pirates. So, what's happening? This is a constant. It's essentially Appalachia. Okay, it's a constant war ground for people trying to get into the empire. If some shit is going to go down, a lot of times it happens in the remote regions of Itausa, and they try to get a foothold there. So the Ulek Legion is often there. There are spies there, all kinds of stuff in the hills, and there's all sorts of hill people that they take to themselves. There are monsters in them hills. People don't go in the deep recesses of it. Also, if you want to be secluded, it's a really good place to go. There are skirmishes in these borderlands. Why? You've been brought in. This is on a little scroll that you're perhaps reading on your Zeppelin as it's descending. The Theurgist engines going. There's a dynamic mage, so an air flame mage who's actually keeping the runes alight and keeping the convection going, maintaining the engines. Think of the Hindenburg, except you're not exploding. You're descending from a few thousand feet up. The wind chill and gusts are being buffeted by runes that are drawn in the air. You still feel cold. Maybe you're wearing a big coat or something as you descend, and you're reading this paper. Skirmishes in the borderlands have been annoying as of late. The Ulek Legion is making operations at the north and south. It's starting to disrupt some of the commerce. And so an officer of the Merchants of Kar, which is pretty high up, as directed by the sub-Malik. There are many sub-Maliks. So basically like a VP. Has dispatched an officer to Itausa. This person's name is... I'm not going to use that name. That's stupid. Wow.
It didn't get better?
No, it's all twerb. We're not going to use twerb. Cromwell. It really wants Cromwell. De Grey. Annabelle de Grey.
Annabelle de Grey.
She's an officer of the Merchants of Kar. She's also known as a Morthingi. A Morthingi, another name for it, is a sheriff. That means she is a magic user. So the sheriffs, they are sheriffs of mages.
Oh, wow.
And specifically Morthingi, they'll come in and do whatever they need to do. They're pretty high up in law enforcement in the provinces. So think of county sheriffs. But specifically, they will come and take care of magic users that, are not doing what they should be doing. At any rate, Annabelle de Grey has been dispatched here, and you are attached to her as a deputy.
I'm her pointy.
Yeah. Doing this will be fulfilling part of your contract, and allowing you to be in Daloon and continue your stay, and potentially allow you to get into the Bonestone City, which is the capital. It's very difficult to get in there if you're not already in. So we're going to say that's maybe like a deal. All right. The provincial militia of Itausa. These are not, officials. These are militia. Are against a kind of land takeover that's gone on. You see that basically what you're reading, the provincials, the locals, are not liking all these outsiders coming in and making rules.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been some back and forth, some skirmishes between them. Meanwhile, in addition to that, the Ulek is actually fighting, for lack of a better word, cartels that are starting operations on the edges. This is a big swath of land. It's not all happening where you're landing. It's a bit of a chaotic situation. You are to meet Officer de Grey and aid her in any way she needs to be aided. As you land, ropes come out, weights, the whatchamacallit. We'll say the Zeppelin actually lands, and you can just walk out. There's only a few people that come out. We'll say a lot of them are guild members. They have the trappings of guild members. Merchants of Car, they're very, think like Henry VIII. They all kind of have the big coat with filigree and, emblems of their station and such, and big hats with feathers and shit. As well as perhaps a platoon or two of Ulek who keep to themselves. One in particular, you might notice, she looks a little bit different than the rest of them. She's wearing boiled leathers, darkened. It almost has this waxy look. They have this imprint all through them of a dragon all around the tunic she's wearing. She's got this little backpack on that looks Theurgic, and she almost looks like a Ghostbuster, just without the lights. Her hair is fire engine red, matted, hasn't been washed in a long time, greasy, just like techno punk from the 80s, pulled back in like a femlet. Piercing eyes. And every so often, Harry, from across the Zeppelin. So if you've seen, of course you've seen it. What is that movie? Indiana Jones,
Mm-hmm.
The Last Crusade. One of the Zeppelins that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty large space. She's just sort of glowering and smiling at people like a shit. She descends as well. And you're in this, for lack of a better word, wild western town that's at the foot of these mountains, these green mountains that just go up, and there's, think of like Chinese mountains. There's cloud cover, or the Smoky Mountains, that kind of thing. Several places all over, the taverns, a few shops, these sorts of things. There's an actual paved road. The Emperor's Road runs through here. Quite a bit of commerce, big wagons that are all decked out. Trains of them are like sitting idly by as they're getting loaded up, waiting for the roads to clear from skirmishes and that kind of stuff. And then here and there, a company or two of Ulek marching in the fields. It's a pretty bustling place. Actions on you. What are you doing?
What are Ulek exactly?
The Ulek Legionnaire, they are legionnaires. They're called hoplites or hoplites, and they're the foot soldier of the Calgarian Empire.
I am going to keep an eye out for Annabelle, but I'm kind of going to follow that runic runic laced mage, the redhead.
Okay.
Just sort of subtly follow her, just kind of pick at my fingers and kind of kick rocks and see where she's going. I'm going to bid something to do it really subtly to where they won't notice. I'm going to bid my ranger ability.
Yeah, bidding ranger, it's pretty easy for you to follow her, especially with all the crowd moving to and fro. You're both on foot. She is also a Denna. Looks like she's a Sealta. So that means she has red hair. Pretty much all Sealta have some form of red hair. It could be auburn or light brown, but it all has red in it. Specifically, fire engine red, it's a bit of an omen type thing. If you're superstitious like the provincials, you have probably heard of these things because you're Azraelian. Provincials are really superstitious. As you note, people are kind of giving her a breadth, a pretty wide breadth. Also, she smells like gasoline. As you know, she's 2 or 3 blocks that way. We'll say this entire town, you know, you got both sides that have buildings, 2 stories, maybe 3 stories here and there. It is a hamlet, like a town. Farmlands are visible from where you are. There's 3 or 4 roads, as in cross sections. So main road, couple side streets going that way. We'll say a few thousand people live here, you know, like max. And then they also live in the farms. It's pretty big. Pretty big.
Nice. I mean, am I expected to be somewhere, or do I have a little bit of time before?
There's no cell phones.
Yeah.
This is old school.
All
So
right.
your ship, your airship your dirigible has landed, but you know, it's not a 10 a.m. type thing. In fact, now that you mentioned that, as you're following her, you see that she goes into the local tavern. It will be called... interesting. The Starlit Tankard.
The Starlit Tankard. Okay.
And we'll say that the Starlit, you know, has the big wooden sign, and there's a big 5-pointed star on it with, you know, cartoony lines coming out. And it'll be a 2.5-story building, all wood, wide, open air in the base. There's a few pots of, you know, the stew that's there for travelers, wide hearth, tables and stuff. Think of a beer garden. You know, you can smell the brews as well as the stews. And the top of it, there's a patio, and it looks like there's not an observatory per se, but little places with like telescopic lenses that people can maybe view the stars from this tavern at night. As the woman walks in, she goes immediately to the bar and is ordering and that kind of stuff. People move away from her.
I'm gonna go and, I guess, kind of find a dark corner and nod to a server.
Yeah, it's easy to do. What do you look like? What do you describe yourself?
I'm pretty noticeable. I'm blonde. I got a lot of hair, big hair, like 80s style hair. And my ears like are like it's a big boof of hair, but they just shoot out kind of. And my helmet, like when I'm not wearing my helmet now, but when I'm wearing it, it's got bigger ears than my actual ears that make my ears bigger.
Compensating for something.
Yeah, compensating.
Yeah.
I really shiny armor, and you know why I was trying to like hide my way. Like I demand attention, so like she might not have noticed me, but it was not because like she thought I was following her. It's because like I exude asshole. Like
indeed, that is good to know. So you're not really hiding so much. She's just not paying attention to you. What color is your armor? Is it steel or is it like golden looking?
It probably has some gold.
Yeah,
It's got sequins, gold.
So like filigree going all over it and stuff.
It's maybe a couple of different colors, maybe a little purple.
Sure. Wow. So you have a bow, like I think you can have a long bow.
Yes.
At medium.
It's a longbow. And it's
a longbow is rather large.
It's a long range weapon.
Yeah. Well, longbow's hardcore.
Yeah.
And then you have a sidearm. What is your sidearm?
It's a dirk. It's just a little pokey thing.
It's a little dirk. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's it's this big.
Yeah.
It'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
And it's you'll carry it in front.
The little.
Yeah, and you have a quiver, of course, full of arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 20 arrows. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. With your 2 satchels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you sit down.
I would like to. Can I spend like my pip saying that I have a squire that follows me around carrying all my shit?
Absolutely, you can.
Just like.
You absolutely can. And your squire will be, we'll say that they're also sibling. Actually, I kind of like the idea that your squire is not. Hold on. We'll see how much of a dickhole you are. Let's see. For anyone wondering, I often use NPC Generator 5th edition or 5e, just because I think it has a lot of really fun stuff in it. Doesn't always work for stuff, but it's pretty cool. Let's see. I think this would be funny. Squire. There's actually a squire. Let's see. We don't want him to be that. I'm going to make him this way. Jesus. There's no way I'm going to do that to you. Damn. All right. It's being a little weird. Okay. So your squire's name, and remember, right now he has 1 bid, so he's a notable, unless you want him to be narrative.
No. Let's just for funsies.
Hold off on it.
We haven't. Let's make him narrative. Let's give him his own.
Okay.
His own.
So he has a whole story himself.
I won't forget about him.
No, you won't. You won't. All right. He has 3 bids. So his name is Golmoth Falaval.
You're gonna have to spell that one.
You spell that however you want.
Golmoth
Falaval.
Falaval. All right.
Golmoth Falaval. He is, let's see, divided by 3. He's 30 seasons old.
He's old.
So normally a Denna lives to be, and he's a Denna. He's a sibling actually. Normally they live to be like 40 to 50 seasons. He's 30. So he's like a 60-year-old dude.
Okay.
He's sibling, but he's a squire. And he's got this skinny but just sinewy build. A slightly pretty face. But he's aged, and you can tell he was probably a good-looking dude. Think of like a George Clooney, but the Help.
Yeah, like he's got a pretty. He's a Hanes underwear model.
He's a Hanes underwear model. Well, but he's old.
Yeah,
he has a
like
scar
for men, older men, like me, men, but older.
He's got a scar from the top of his not the crown of his head, but this forehead. It's slight as it goes down his neck, deep into his chest, out his hip. He fell in battle hard. The story you don't know. He's very touchy about it. Also, he is a sibling, but one of his ears is clipped, which is why he is a squire.
Yeah.
So you get the feeling that he probably was important, of some sort of import, but something's up. He's got golden eyes, white hair. It's pulled back in a ponytail. He looks regal, except he's carrying your bags. You know, Harry, that Golmoth is broken. He doesn't really talk back to people. I mean, he's snarky. You see that there was something there, but something happened to him and he's disgraced. So there's this almost cowardly nature to him that we're going to say strikes fear into your heart because you're this brave warrior.
Yeah.
And you see what could happen.
Right. But I also don't have, I got an ego. I don't really care.
Yeah, you don't fail. Ever.
I don't fail. It's like he failed.
All right.
I didn't.
As Golmoth is behind you, walking, how tall's your guy?
I don't know, 6'6".
Sure. So you're real tall.
Yeah.
So you're 6'6". You're like Solomon tall. This guy will be 6 feet. So you stand a head taller than he does. That kind of even chafes. Maybe you even wondered, does he hate you?
He might hate
I don't know.
It's possible.
But he's bound to you.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. Well, it's because I got a bunch of shit and I give him a coin every so often.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have to?
Yeah,
right.
You're from Azraelia. You can absolutely have slaves.
Oh, okay. Then
this guy is bound to you.
Yeah. Bound.
You don't know what his debt is, but when he was given to you, he was called Boy.
Should we do that? I don't think we should do that. I think
it's a thing. As in like little boy.
Yeah.
Little boy.
What about?
Yeah. As in it's a diminutive thing. It's not a hey boy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is the reason. So in Azraelia they have slaves, but the slaves are different. It's more of a Roman type slave. So it is a caste of society, as in call them the help if it's better for our time and place, which may be better. But the servants there, the serfs is maybe a better word. They are a caste. They have rights. They are people, right? And they can actually buy their freedom and all these things. So it is a form of society. If you get conquered, you become one of these. You become a serf. And then the idea is it is an honorable thing to work yourself out of that.
I get you.
So that's who he is. As he looks up, Lord Harry, where would you like a things?
Just give me a little space, buddy. Just go over there and sit down. Act like you don't know me.
He does. He sets stuff down on one of the tables.
No, move it. It's got to be set this way, just in case anything happens. I need everything in the right place, and really, I don't see you doing it right, buddy.
Of course, I'll move the healer's pouch closer to you.
Thank you.
As he opens it up and
no, it's not for you.
Closes it. He orders 2 drinks for you all. The drink you like. It'll be a fruit cocktail.
Oh, good. I don't drink alcohol.
I have a Mai Tai
alcohol.
A virgin Mai Tai.
Yeah, virgin Mai Tai.
Tink. You get it. All right, you're in this bar. The day it's early. We'll say it's, as far as you can tell, before noon. There are no clocks. There is a clock tower you saw down the street. We'll say it's like 9 a.m.
Okay.
You know that clock towers specifically are Theurgist structures that were built from a bygone era, and they do more than keep time. They literally keep time. So as the world ages and things weaken, as this realm and the laws of physics weaken, the clock tower actually keeps things steady. So you're in a stable part of the world.
Oh wow, that's cool.
What do you do?
That's fun. I just keep drinking, and I watch to see if anybody
You do not get drunk.
is paying any attention to the woman.
You see that a lot of people are paying attention to the woman. She is approached by, over the course of the next however long, several people. She flirts a lot. She's turned around at the bar, loving it, and it becomes clear to you that it's a game. She has no intention whatsoever. She loves the attention. She's giving people shit. There's 3-4 dudes and a couple women and a couple others around her, and they're all buying drinks and like playing games and cheersing, all these sorts of things. It looks like she does this, and she's extremely laissez-faire, despite being Ulek.
Yeah,
she is an Ulek legionnaire.
Yeah. So everybody gave her space, but they're not. They friendly.
Eventually, people come up. She's very attractive.
Now, is anybody
odd
coming?
Looking too.
Is anybody coming up to me and flirting with me?
No. No. You're in the bar. You're in the provinces.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I'm not liked here. I'm kind of like, but I'm not.
Well, you're Sibylline.
Yeah. I'm not the right.
They're pretty standoffish.
Yeah.
You are
I'm
the equivalent of a high elf.
Yeah.
You are potentially an Aristasi. Like they're not really.
Yeah.
People look over.
Yeah.
You're a sight to behold.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people.
I start getting louder with my squire. And
what are you trying to accomplish here?
I think I'm going to start trying to get her attention. I'll talk loud.
Okay. What do you bid?
I will bid unscathed, because I'm unscathed by the lack of attention that I'm getting.
I don't know about that.
I want to be unscathed, right. So the goal is to be unscathed by a lack of attention.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe you are scathed, actually.
No, even better. How about I bid my flawless? I say, Squire, we did well on our last mission, and I expect you to keep closer and get my sword shinier this next time.
I'm sorry, sir, but your sword was lost. Now all we have is this dirk.
Yes, well, I blame you for it. I shall get a new one when we get to civilization once again. Of course, it was my fault. The mighty South is such a good place for good people like us. We are the best of our region, and I am proud to be a consulate for the great I gotta remember my people. The great Syrian, Azraelian people.
A few people turn as you say that. As you note, Golmuth. Let's do a higher roll, high or low. Let's see if Golmuth is Calgarian or Azraelian. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be kind of cool if he was a captive to the Azraelians, and he's actually a Calgarian. So, which one do you want? Do you want him to be a captive Calgarian that is now a serf, and so that's just how it is? Or do you want him to be an Azraelian?
I think it would be funnier if he was Azraelian and just lost his status.
Sure. All right, so roll a d12 and call high or low.
Let's see. I'm going to call...
And if you hit it, then that's exactly what it is.
I'm going to call low. Oop. I keep doing the wrong thing.
Whoop.
There we go.
I feel it.
And I'm going to call low, and we're going to roll a d12, and it is a 5.
So that is low. As in fact, he is an Azraelian, and we'll have to figure out the houses and all that stuff. It's all in the book.
Has your family been at just a slightly higher status? I believe that you would have done much more fair.
He will be House Hull, which is H-O with an umlaut, L-L. It is one of the most prestigious houses.
Oh.
Hands down, his house, like he's ousted from it, but he is like top tier. He's like Lannister top.
Oh, wow.
As you say that, I love it. As he just sort of chafes, he bristles. Indeed, my lord. Would you like me to go fetch you a sword from the smith? Perhaps.
Yes, get me a smith. Here are some silver.
As he stands up real quick with like a ding, but kind of like holds himself. You see him sweating. As he, shall I take the bags, my lord?
Oh, no, I think I'll organize it the way I want it to be organized.
As he leaves without any money, he just... All right. As this woman is now looking at you, you've bid what you've bid. She kind of pushes some dude away and sits up off the stool, does this thing like the waiter's going to come, and she saunters over with her little backpack and the nozzle. You see she has a blade as well as something on her hip. It looks like a Theurgist gun.
Ooh.
As she sits down with style. She is well proportioned. She looks very good. Although as you see her up close, she's older than she looked. There's some like lines on her face. She still holds her beauty very, very well, but you see that she's weathered. She's been in the world. There's some scars you can see, maybe some burn marks. Her nails are dirty. As she's sitting there looking at you, her hair in a femlet. So she's got like the bangs and it's like down the back. What's a sibling doing out here?
I am venturing for the merchants of Car.
Fuck the merchants of Car. And she starts to stand up.
A noble task of honor that has been presented to me by your queen, I believe.
I ain't got no queen in Calgary.
Oh.
Got an empress, though.
I mean empress. That's what I meant to say.
She kind of smiles at you. As people laugh. So you must be the attaché then?
Yes, I am attaché. I am to meet the great leader of the region, Annabelle Gray, and we are to adventure wholeheartedly into this brave mountainous land of yours, of majestical peaks and amazing rivers.
Don't be talking about my peaks, night boy. Do you want a drink? She looks and points and says, I'll have two.
I have a drink. It is a beautiful
she
Mediterranean.
slaps it out of your hand.
It's wonderful.
Made a real drink. For a right spleen with ears as tall as yours. You need to drink some right alcohol.
I do not drink alcohol, for I am devout in my love of earthly things that have been not processed. Eh? Yes.
She picks her nose, eats it.
Why are you here in this fair little town?
It seems that I'm here for probably a similar purpose. Let's finish my drinks. As two are sit down, two steins. You see a person of her weight and height. She's like 5'5", weighs like $130. I mean, she's gonna be toasted after this. After she's drank, and there's two steins, and she's like, "I'd say, where's the fucking music here?" And she's partying. Yeah.
Well,
what are you doing? As you're sitting there, in your shiny armor. You see the clock. It's like,
I disapprove of this wholeheartedly. I shall see you later.
it's like 1 p.m.
I think I'm going to take my leave.
No. Get back here. You're going to dance with me, aren't you?
I
Mind the
shall
pack.
dance with you, my lady, of course.
All
And
right,
I
what do you
present
bid to
my
dance
hand.
with her well?
Dance with her well.
Also, you're dancing in armor, so
I'm gonna.
you could do like the
I'm gonna
robot.
bid my nature, which is resourceful.
All right.
And it's not about moving as much as it's like if you've ever been to a dance floor with a big dude dancing, they just kind of like do the metal thing.
The metal thing.
You know, like heavy metal. Like it's just like a head
Yeah.
nod, and then they lift their feet up occasionally, but it's just mostly like just not head nodding.
I need to see you dance, Ken. I know you don't dance like that. You like do this. Electric thing. So that's how you dance. You don't dance well, is what you're saying.
I dance conservatively.
Okay. She makes you look really good.
Yeah.
She grinds around on you and dances all fantasy style and dances with several people. Lots of line dancing and people going through like, the thing and whatever. But you're in armor, so you kind of like awkwardly stand out there. But it's fun. It's a fun time. Kind of sweaty. Your hair, your plentiful hair is frizzy with the climate, and it's about afternoon 1 or 2 as this woman whose name you don't know is sweaty. She's obviously kind of drunk as she kisses you on the neck. The nape of your neck, not the nape of your the neck here. Mm-hmm. It's just sloppy, mawkish, drunk kiss. Mwah! And she looks up at you, says, "You got fine ears," and then kisses another dude next to her, some woman.
You are very liberal, I see.
That's what they fucking call me. She kind of like moves by and sees that her stein's empty. Sets it down.
Oh, I must
and
be
going.
You
notice someone in the doorway of the tavern.
Okay.
You see this woman who has short cropped, straight, but gray hair. It's in a bit of a military cut. It's shaved on the sides and kind of has like this floof to it. Brown eyes. She's got the sort of soft red skin of someone who's been outside a lot. She is Sabine. So pointed ears, not nearly as tall as yours. Sun-baked in a lot of ways. She's not very tall, maybe 5 feet, but she has a commanding presence. And she's wearing brigandine kind of armor. It's a sort of a half plate type thing, something that allows for a lot of movement. She has a cloak, and you see a big diadem, big sigil of the Merchants of Kar. It's a really big one, showing her station, and you can read in the script, the High Calgarian script, Morthengi, which is sheriff. Mm-hmm. As you are seeing Annabelle de Grey standing before you. Yes. She has her hands on her hips. You notice in her belt, there's 2 or 3 wooden sticks, which are probably kinds of wands. There's a couple pouches and such. And she has a long knife as well. As she just has her hands on her hips, staring at you. First at this woman, and then you, and back. Her eyes just kind of.
I apologize, fair lady. I must depart from dancing with you, though it has been time. I feel like I am late for a prior encounter.
Your eardrums hurt when this woman speaks, as she says, "To me," and it bellows. It puts out all the music. Some of the chandeliers like shake as everyone stops and looks, as you feel the magic of her announce this command. You even see the woman, the Ulek woman, who's apparently named Liberal. You don't know her real name. She turns and she even jerks her head up, and you hear her curse underneath her breath. Kark.
Kark.
We will montage.
Okay.
This woman, this officer, Annabelle de Grey, leads you all to her office, or her, what she's calling her office. It actually looks like she kicked some people out of their house and used them as accommodations. It's a little turret home. So there's a turret, there's a little kitchenette, family living area, and then like a bedroom or two. And maybe out back where the barn is, that's where the actual family is. As she sits down on furniture that she is unaccustomed to, you guys are there, both of you.
I apologize for the delay. I needed some downtime. My pesky, squire had lost my sword, and so I...
Right. Okay. Can I use the High Galgarian with you, or should I be using Israeli?
Whatever makes you feel best. I'm not entirely sure what languages I speak.
You speak at least Israelian and Calgarian.
Okay. The one that makes you feel the most comfortable is just fine with me.
Fine, we'll use Calgarian then. Do you know why you're here? Carry Darting? Strange name.
Yes. I am here to serve the mercenaries of Kar and to help, I believe, and I could be stepping on a limb here, and I shouldn't in this heavy armor, but to keep the borderland secure.
As the woman next to you, Liberal, turns and she kind of elbows you and kind of go, in the armor as it hurts her elbow. She's like, fuck. It's not mercenaries, it's merchants. Fucking Azraelian.
Merchants of Kar.
As you see the furrowed brow of de Grey kind of ease up. She's not happy at what you're doing, clearly. Lieutenant Miriam Latast. She says this name with some derision, as you realize the person next to you is Miriam Latast. Lieutenant Miriam Latast. I see the guild leader of the Ulek Legion has decided to send me a witch hunter. Oh, happy day. As Miriam just kind of rubs the back of her head, she sways as you know she's drunk. Looking back at you. Can you read?
I have been taught to read by the highest of teachers and professors.
Okay. So you know a little bit about what's going on here. Well, let me give you the details. She points out the window at a hill, and it looks very near, but you can tell because you're traveled. Climbing that hill will take probably a couple hours, and it's rather steep. Somewhere at the top of that hill, and this is like, imagine a hill and then there's a mountain behind it, okay? Mm-hmm. So it's not like the top of the mountain. Somewhere on the top of that hill, there's a scientist. He's one of ours. And he's one of the merchants of Kar. He's a steward. For those of you that don't know, that means that he's supposed to do what we tell him to. He has a couple things we need to get things done. He's not answering. He hasn't answered any of the messages we've sent through Magicka. None of the messengers that we have sent, physical, have come back. To boot, we've been given some disturbing news, accounts of some weird things that may or may not be happening at the top of that hill. For example, the wilderness is oddly quiet. Even the militia won't go there. So, she looks at Miriam, the witch hunter, and looks back at you, the knight. The scientist's name is Califax.
We shall find this scientist for you, and I will use as many voices as I possibly can because I don't.
Miriam says, all right. So what's this Califax done? You see Annabelle kind of tense up. He hasn't done anything, which is the problem. He has an item called a seeing stone, which, as you can imagine, it's a stone for seeing. It uses Theurgian magic. You won't understand. It doesn't matter. The point is, it allows us to view things far away. We need it. Also, he is a steward of the Merchants of Kar, and he needs to pay his dues and answer our calls. We need to know what's going on up there. She kind of looks off to the side. If something unbecoming has happened to Califax, we need to know who, what, where, when, why, how. And above all, we need that seeing stone. It cannot fall into enemy hands. When she says enemy, it's ambiguous what she means by enemy.
The outsiders coming in, I'm sure, are ingrates and low-born.
That's exactly what I mean. And she just sort of stares at you for a little too long. As Miriam kind of like does this slow look up at you, slow back to her. Understood.
You should build bigger walls.
Thanks. Okay, what are you doing? You can try to get more information. You can try to just go for it. You can do whatever you want.
I think a little more information is good. Mistress, I mean Annabelle, Lieutenant, I mean Commander, I believe I would like to know, where is this scientist supposed to be? Would be
like I said, he's at the top of the hill. He apparently has some sort of tower.
Tower. Oh, yes. So it's a tower on top of the hill. How very imaginative. We shall go find this tower.
Folds her arms.
Do you think he would have... Was he alone, or did he have companionship?
That's a good question. What do you bid?
I will bid.
As you can see that Annabelle is... You glean that maybe you're not the first person she's sent up there. And she thinks she's trying to kind of get through this because maybe she thinks you're both fuck ups.
I will bid my motto strength and service, because I need to know if there are friends or foes or additional people that we might be able to find along the way that, could lead us to him.
As you bid this, okay, I guess I'll go through it this time. As she pulls out this book, and you see a picture of a Theurgist photograph. So it's sort of like artistic looking, black and white, of Califax. He looks like a mad scientist. He's wispy hair. Think of Dr. Emmett Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Brown coat, holding weird utensils and shit. Or actually, screw that. Think of Vincent Price from from Edward Scissorhands. That's what he looks like, with like this long duster, and he's all fantasied out. He is standing next to a homely looking woman, and it looks like they are together. And then next to them is a younger version of himself, pretty much, as you see a family. And Annabelle says, "This is Califax Lestrange." I'm just saying J.K. Rowling can do it. I can do it. Califax Lestrange. This is his wife, Christine, and his son. There's some edge to what she's saying here. Son, Julius.
I take it Julius is a miscreant of all sorts.
There's something in her voice as she says something of that matter. She's not telling you everything. Maybe it's a hunch. Maybe it's just dark. Maybe she's not allowed to, but she's definitely withholding something.
He must have sold his father out for drugs.
As she says, his family is dead, is the problem. There was some experiment or error, or some say it was a sickness. But afterwards, Califax went a little barmy and sequestered himself, built that tower, and has been experimenting ever since. As to what he's doing, well, she kind of looks up at the hill. He is a Theurgist of the highest order. She looks back slowly. I'm not sure what you'll find up there. As for General Zen's, looking back, I doubt you'll find too many people just scrambling about. Not even beasts are on that hill right now. At least, nothing natural.
Aha.
Listen, I won't lie to you. You're the fourth expedition I've sent up there. No one's come back. I don't know if it's because they've stayed, if they've left, deserted. Times are weird now. Maybe been picked off by airship pirates. They are going about. You need to be careful.
They lack the nobility of spirit and a trusty squire. And of course,
Something
this
like
young raisin person.
Miriam Latas, you fucker. As you see your squire come back, he is carrying a short sword.
Huh.
This is a medium weapon. So it's an arming sword. Not the greatest make, but it will do.
Good. We shall continue to do the quest as you... Do you have a time frame in which we need to complete this?
Soon. Sooner the better.
Yes, post haste. We shall avenge. We will find the stones of seeing. and bring honor to the town of this.
As with a magical blast of her voice, all you hear is as you all stumble out, and for a moment kind of shake your heads. The door is like, and you're in the streets.
Quest, I am excited to be on mission and take the field once again. Squire,
Yes, my lord.
The horses and make sure that our
Horses.
and Miriam is
There are no
is
horses,
ready
my lord.
for our travel.
Miriam looks up at you. Are you fucked?
I know. We are questing for the greatness of.
She starts walking.
I think
All right,
we
fucking Don Quixote, let's go.
we should go.
As your squire's like, there are no horses, my lord. We don't have any. We came on an airship.
Well, next time you should get horses. You should know these
Yes,
things.
my lord. If you would let me sell one of our items, then maybe I could.
Well, do you think the horses could climb such a treacherous mountain?
He looks up. A hill? Probably.
What do we have to sell that's worth anything?
It's on your character sheet.
Oh no, I don't want to get rid of any.
We also
of my
have
things.
3 bids for him.
Oh well, I'm gonna bid him to. It's like, oh well, take some of these herbs and do the trade up thing that you do, and we shall journey with horses post haste tomorrow, or on the nigh.
As you guys saw a montage.
Yeah.
It takes a couple hours. Golmoth comes back with a pony and 3 horses. 1 for each of you. As he, being your serf, sold one of his precious house pieces of jewelry. And so you have a pony that carries all your crap,
Nice.
and you have 3 horses.
You
They are not war horses.
Yeah.
But they are trained.
Yeah. You never cease to amaze me with your abilities.
You see him he's puckered up, like just not happy. Whatever he sold was way more valuable than 3 horses and a pony. And she's like, of course, my lord. I live to serve.
He's gonna kill me.
As Miriam looks at the horse. All right, well, we could try this again. All right, roll me a d6 and tell me if it's a 1.
All right, I got the dice. We have a d6, and it is a 6.
Hey! As she jumps on and the horse takes to her immediately, she says, "Oh, fuck! That's the first time a horse has let me get on him." I mean, without some struggle, that is. She taps the pack on her back, the little backpack. And she just sort of does the wink and the thing to you, whatever that means. As you guys montage up the hill, it takes you a quarter of the time it would have. It's about 5 or 6 in the evening. Not yet golden hour or any of that, but the sun is going down. And since you're near the mountains, and this is Craster, so the sun is red because it is an old sun. Days are shorter anyway, despite it being summer. The sun is low. As you're moving up the hill and you're getting to the top of it, let's take like a couple minute break. I'm going to refill my water really quick.
No refilling water. All right.
Yeah.
We'll be back in just a few minutes, and
deal with whatever's at the top of this hill.
we'll complete this excursion of multiple dialects and voices of whatever it is got going on. We'll be right back.
This is probably when more of the adventure-y or serious music can come in.
All right, we are back, and
We're back.
it's happening, and we're gonna go with a little darker. Not that. That's not dark. We're gonna go with haunting. Something. Or should we go with terror? We're not to terror yet.
Nope.
We are back, streaming
We're
live.
back.
Geeky Gamer
Streaming
Podcast, where
Gamer
we're actually gaming.
Basically just playing. It's fun. It's fun to do one-on-one.
I enjoy the one shots. I enjoy it. I think that we should cast for some additional one shots.
I agree. But people have this mentality nowadays where it's like, that's a one shot. Well, I don't want to put all the effort in because then it's just done. And I'm like, it's a lot of fun to do a one shot, especially when it could be a two shot, and it's one of those you can fail.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, as we learned last week, I feel like I was on the edge of failure.
Yeah, last week's intense.
Yeah.
But you were very clever about how you dealt with it.
So here we are. This way, I mean, stumbling up into the doom. Who knows?
Yep.
Are we in a forest, or is it pretty clear?
So as you trance up this hill, it is actually just high grass.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 or 5 foot tall grass in places.
Okay. High grass.
So very, very tall. And beyond it, as you get up into the hill, it's several hundred feet of a hill. So you're technically in the foothills. Here and there, an outcropping of boulders. You're gaining elevation pretty quickly. The horse is not struggling. So it's not such rough terrain or such a grade that would make your horse struggle. But
oh, nice. Well, I'm sure that
you're several hundred feet up.
I am not struggling because I'm wearing heavy armor and a long walk.
You're fine. You're fine. You're on a horse. And the horse.
Let's hear some your local riding tunes as we proceed up this.
I'm not. I hate telling him that he looks over at Miriam. I hate telling him this. I'm not a singer. Yes, of course, my lord. There once was a ship and such
and stuff.
Trees.
Trees.
And warriors call him home.
I love them. Yes, devout.
As he goes on, Miriam just says, "Shut the fuck!" And you kind of hear Golmuth. You called him Califax. You hear Golmuth, his voice echoing with no pitch in mind, and Miriam yelling as the sun is starting to go down a little bit. You get to the top of the hill. It is dusk. Down below, you see several hundred feet in the foot or in the valley, in the foot of this mountain, essentially, the village, the Itausan village of Cairn is what we will call that. And at the top of the hill, it rounds out like a hill would. 50 some odd feet later, you see copses of trees. These are deciduous trees. So think of like oaks, and I think an oak is a deciduous tree. It gets cold up here, so coniferous, some pines and whatnot, evergreens and etc. Thick branches and leaves, and a very dark forest out beyond. There's an overgrown path that you can see. No roads up here. This is off the beaten path, maybe off to the left, which is to the north of you, around the hill and down over a few other ones. You actually see the King's Road or the Emperor's Road continue on through the mountain pass, but you're off the beaten path. There is an overgrown beaten path ahead of you through the forest, and just the whiff of smoke of perhaps a campfire or a hearth, as maybe all three of you kind of look at each other, sensing it. And it's getting dark rather quickly. Something strange. There's no sound of animals, crickets, nothing. Totally silent.
This encampment, was it recently camped at, or has it been a
What
while?
encampment?
Oh, I thought you said there was I could smell burning.
You can.
Yeah.
You smell smoke.
I smell smoke. I will bid wild to know where it's coming from.
Oh, it's pretty obvious. Bidding wild through that overgrown path, maybe within a mile or two, maybe less. You see, as the trees are, there's a few copses and then the actual forest, and now it's these mountains. As you're getting into sort of the mountain, is heavily forested. They're like Appalachian mountains, so they're not tall enough for snow.
They're not,
at least at this season.
Right.
In the summer. It'll probably be rocky, but it shouldn't be that hard. Your horses shouldn't have that hard of a time. The grasses are tall enough though that they come up to like your shins and knees while you're sitting on the horse.
Is this fire a massive fire or just like a campfire?
You just smell smoke.
It's not like I guess it's not like
you don't see any smoke.
Ever present, like if you're in Los Angeles and there's like a why, like it's just a little fire, or is it heavy in the smoke? Heavy smoke or light smoke?
It's kind of like when you walk around the corner and you're like, there was a smoker here.
I think that we should go find who is smoking, per se, for the.
I think what you're asking is, with your bid, can you identify what kind of fire it is?
Yeah.
It's a campfire or a hearth fire.
Okay.
By the smell of it, probably something that's a little bit more consistent than a campfire. And there's also something alchemical in it.
Oh.
So you would guess it's probably an established fire.
It's established fire.
Something that's controlled.
Companions, do you believe this is our destination? This smoky
Miriam looks over.
Fire?
Well, this Califax fella, he's a Theurgist, right?
Yes.
And they love fire. So do I. As she pulls out the little tongue, this little nozzle, and you see she hooks a hose into it.
I think we shall ready ourselves on any upcoming.
You talk too much. As she starts riding on.
Yeah, let's go
Into the forest. So the hero yet again lets the other person go first. I'm getting a sense here of the characters you play, Ken. Like, I am the hero. Go ahead. I'm going to give you a flaw.
Yeah.
Which I'll give you a choice. Cowardly or untested,
I think
or hesitant.
Anybody who's ever been in battle is not one to quickly rush in. I don't know if that's flaw.
Okay.
That's living. What's the difference between letting somebody else get shot? Strategic.
So hesitant, cowardly, or untested?
I will be, I would say untested, maybe.
All right. So untested will be the flaw. It'll be this gnawing thing that kind of goes along with your character. If, the arrogance is some of the bravado you have. It's not completely tested. You're not 100% sure, which is why it's maybe so big. As Miriam rides in, you see she's not happy about it. And she's not going fast. It's a walk.
Miriam, I shall protect you. I will go first, I think. Maybe.
She continues.
And I kind of ride up next to her.
Oh, you do. As you do, you see she kind of looks over at you, and there's a little bit of the stoniness of her face eases a little bit as you have come up next to her. All right, have you ever fought a Theurgist before? Not saying we're gonna fight anyone.
I've not fought a lot of Theurgists, no. But I have fought a lot of pikemen and swordsmen and tough men.
Well, Theurgists are cunning fuckers. They set traps and all sorts of things like that. They use alchemy. Don't know what we're getting into. Hopefully it's not any magicka.
Well, I don't know any magicka that can hurt steel and swords.
She looks over at you. You mean like fire?
Oh, yeah, I guess there's some magicka that does
fucking
that.
Twit. She just rides on. And you guys are riding together. Dark in here.
I make it a point that my horse is just a couple of noses in front of hers. Yes, I commanded a legion back at home. All right, Squire, keep up.
We're trying to sneak up on this fella.
I'm gonna bid my armor noisy.
Yeah. Okay.
A flaw, which is noisy. There's no sneaking up with this guy. He's
as
like,
you were just.
he's like.
As you do.
Are you do you expect that we should be sneaky about this? I should have my squire do. He is a sneaky folk.
She stops the horse as you kind of stop maybe 10 feet in front of her. The woods are all overgrown. You can barely see each other. It's so dark, and now it is actually dark. No sounds in the forest, save for you all. As Golmuth finally comes up, he was maybe 20 feet behind you, bringing up the rear, with and following the mule, as in the mule was following him, or the pony. My lord, I don't have any weapons.
Oh,
do you want me to go forth?
You should have
again?
A weapon. I pull out my dirk and hand it to him, just in case.
He grabs, looks at it, looks at Miriam. Shall I go on foot or ride, my lord?
I guess he didn't have armor. He's quieter than we are. He's got nothing.
He'll have like light armor on.
Yeah. Yes, you could make one of those hooty hoot calls that you're always so fond of. I think if you see something that is that might frighten you,
hops off the horse and starts walking forward through the grasses and such. Actually, the grasses are pretty low here. It's just foliage, and he goes off out of sight. Looks like the path bends around a little bit. As you and Miriam are left there in the dark, it's just getting darker and darker until you can barely see your hand in front of your face. Finally, Miriam goes, I didn't want to do this, but as you see this firelight on the end of this kind of like quarterstaff looking thing that she has. little short staff. It's a nozzle.
Yes,
to
the Magica.
whatever she has. It's not magic. It's Theurgic. As you see, it glows green, and then she twists it, and it gets blue, and then she twists it down as it becomes more of like a shedding light. So an orange. She holds it out. Is your man pretty good?
I don't know. He was.
Woohoo!
Oh, yes, that would be him. I think we should follow him in that direction. Or maybe
Kinda
we can
obvious,
flank them.
though. It's
Let's
kind
get
of
off.
obvious, though, when it's kind of fucking as you just walk off, with your horse, not listening to her at all. All right. As you boldly go forward in the dark. Takes you a little bit as you finally get up to a part where you see a clearing, all overgrown, but it's much clearer than a former clearing, basically. The canopy is overgrown. There's just a little bit of an outcropping, and you see a tower, a stone tower that's 5 stories tall, like easily 60 some odd feet in the air. This one castle tower. It's got big door, reinforced archway, large knocker on it. Look at the knocker on that. Looks like there's some farming equipment and perhaps an overgrown garden that's just gone into ruin. A barn out back that's listing to the left, the roof caved in, and out the tower you see some smoke. Some rushes in the bush next to you, coming at you.
I think that must be the tower.
Paying no attention to the thing coming at you.
I'm definitely
your
going
squire appears. My lord.
Yes.
I've done a perimeter check. There's no movement whatsoever, but I hear something inside the tower.
I know. That's what they said. That's what the commander of Annabelle Gray said when she said that there was nothing around to be afraid of except for what's in the tower.
Jesus. 2 mind is not dumb. It's average.
Do you think we should
All right,
go?
what do you do?
I think we should go visit the. I think we dismount and tie off the horses.
All right, tell me what you do.
And I think we're gonna take. All right, Squire, you hang back. Here. Help me if I fall down because my armor's very heavy. And for Califax, that's not Califax. I'm Miriam. Miriam, I think you shall hide in the bushes and let me take the brunt because I am tough.
No problem. As she turns off the torch and crouches down and hides.
I will knock on the door like a noble gentleman.
All right.
We shall see if the homeowners are in.
Okay. Describe yourself as you describe the scene as they go off and then you walk up.
The scene is it's probably deathly quiet, and except for the noise of my armor is the sound of my armor. I hear that. My noisy armor.
Yeah. I mean, but it's one of those things where like you're in the wilderness. It's just the chink of your armor.
Yeah.
You're not walking on concrete.
Right.
But yeah, you can hear yourself for sure.
Yeah. So I mean,
Like you're not like clang, clang, clang. It's not that.
Yeah.
But you sound like tin cans moving over itself.
I'm just gonna walk up, I guess, to the front door and knock on it. See what happens.
Okay. I would like. Let's see. That'll be fine. I'd like you to roll a D100.
A D100. I will tell you what that is in 1 second. As soon as I get the right mice. Maestro. Okay. D100 time. 1, 2. 24.
Okay. Let's see. See 24?
Mm-hmm.
Right. As you walk up to the door, you see that the door is much larger than it looked from just 100 feet ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 10, 12 feet tall. The archway, a little bit taller. As you look up at the tower kind of almost has a bent to it, like it's been here a while, like maybe it wasn't built so well. Like almost like a candle that's starting to burn too much and the base isn't so great. So like it almost looks like it's starting to melt or fold, which is not what stone does. It's not harsh, but from this angle you can see it. As you walk up to the door, you see this massive reinforced door with a huge Dracula-style knocker on it. And as you go to knock on the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
You walk up, it's extremely dark. You can just barely make out some of the details, some of the contour from the moon. Or it'll be Ariane, the moon. It's this purplish moon. So a little bit of purple hue on everything. As you reach for the knocker, you see the door is basically black because it's in the darkness. And you see something move. As you realize the door is a mirror.
Oh, the door's a mirror.
It's a mirror. As you kind of stop and see yourself.
Oh, wow.
In the darkness.
Maybe this is a test.
What do you do?
I'm afraid of the mirror internally. You don't see a lot of mirrors, I don't think. Not full-size mirrors. Certainly.
It's a big mirror. It was a 10-foot mirror.
Certainly.
Like a 10-foot tall, like 6.5 feet wide.
Does it look mirror. Like a solid mirror, or is it like a mirror, like a light mirror?
It's black because you're in the darkness and you can just barely see yourself reflecting with your brilliant armor with the moonlight.
What is that rock?
Moonlight.
The
obsidian.
Dark like
or
that.
onyx.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that.
Yeah. I am smart enough to not necessarily want to touch it. And because no one's approaching me, I'm going to yell down to Miriam and say, Miriam, perhaps your Theurgist abilities could assist in this door.
You want to bed, Miriam?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, hero. As Miriam pops out of the bush, just grumbling the whole way. Fucking Ryland, knights, and just fucking you're a coward, motherfucker. Just absolutely talking shit. You can hear her from way far away. She stops 10 feet from you, thinking you can't hear. Walks up, looks up at you. What? Didn't you knock on the door?
Should I touch? What if the door is trapped?
She looks at the door. That's fucked up. Is that a mirror? As you see both yourself and her.
It might be like obsidian or some kind of thing like that, some say.
She kind of looks back at you. All right, well, she kind of like does a thinking face. I mean, well, this one's got me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's got a knocker on it.
Should we just knock? I guess we should knock. Go back and hide again. Or maybe just stand back a little bit just in case it's trapped.
She stands back a little bit. But the bit is still active. She can still help you.
Okay. And my glove is armored, I presume?
Yeah. I mean, you got chainmail and then an armored glove on top of it.
I guess I grab the knocker and I knock.
As you do, the glass breaks. The mirror breaks and shards.
Oh, shit.
All right. Take 9 damage.
I would like to spin cunning.
Well, you already did the action. You can't go before yourself. You already did it. As you feel something break in your body. As you feel blood running down your chest and your legs. As you turn and see Miriam like coughing up blood. What the fuck did you do? As she kind of like doubles over. What are you doing?
That was after I knocked on the...
Yeah. And you see a big crack.
Oh, I thought you said there was a knocker.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, that was the knocker.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Used a knocker on the mirror.
Copy that.
It broke.
Maybe we should retreat for a moment. And I'm gonna bid my squire to... Squire, can you give us some healing?
Yes, Lord.
Look at Miriam first.
He doesn't have any healing.
Oh,
do you have
We got a herbalist pouch. I don't know. Is that
do you have something that has healing?
No, I just have a herbalist pouch.
Let's see. What does the herbalist pouch have?
Yeah, I don't know.
We will go to the book.
Or
The
at least
book
stop
shall
the
be
bleeding
known.
on us.
Let's see. Herbalism.
Herb. And maybe we just need a little tea to calm our nerves.
All right. You need some hot water. Give me a second. It's page 113 or 300. Yeah. Okay. A herbalist's pouch is a small leather satchel which can hold 6 vials and includes the following: 2 vials of poison, 2 vials of anti-poison, 2 vials of life wine, which will do healing, 1 paring knife, 2 vials of liquid litmus, which can identify a poison or a medicine or an alchemical pigment, and 1 small scale.
Well,
so
I will take a vial of the life wine and I'll hand it to...
It is a D4 plus 1.
Miriam, and say, here, drink from this.
You've got this. Good one. And she pops it, and you see her grimace as she tastes the life wine. It's very strong wine, and it tastes like copper.
Oh, wow. And
it tastes like blood.
I shall do the same. I shall do
kind
the
of gag
same.
a little bit.
I rolled a 1, so that is 2. Can I do a reroll?
You can roll. Yeah. You've got rerolls that you can use.
I'm going to use one of my rerolls.
Yeah, your rerolls can be used on anything.
Yeah. So my second one is another 1.
Good thing you got a lot of rerolls.
I'll just take the 2.
Yeah. All right. Roll for Miriam. See what she gets.
I kind of wish I already did. Miriam gets a 4.
She's like, oh, I really did the right stuff. That did the trick.
Right. Well, we shall proceed, I think. I think that stopped the bleeding.
You don't look so well. We need to go back.
I think I'm okay. Jeez.
All right, what now? As she points at the mirror. Hey, you've cracked the mirror. I think we can pull off pieces and maybe get through.
You think so? I feel like we should pull off pieces from a distance. Like, I got a bow. I'll just shoot it at the mirror.
It's whatever you want. As she steps back and out of sight of it.
Yeah, I'm going to step further back.
Okay.
Like, a lot further back. Like, a fair long distance away.
You're a long distance. You go about 200. You go as far as you can. It's like the entrance of the clearing.
Yes. So I'm going to step back a ways and shoot a bow at it.
Okay. What do you bid?
I guess I'll bid my bow.
Yeah, you got about a longbow is about 500 to 1,000 feet, so you can get about.
Well, I mean,
you can get about 800 feet away from it if you want.
I don't need to get that far.
Okay. Miriam, you see, she goes off to the side of the tower.
Yeah. I'll
it's
probably
pretty clear
get.
she doesn't want to get shot by this bow.
I'll probably get
wide berth.
like maybe 100 feet away.
Okay, you're 100 feet away.
Yeah.
You can see the cracked glass just barely in the moonlight, Ariane's moonlight. So that purple hue, and in the grasses out here in the clearing, you can kind of see your shadow a little bit, just barely in the distance, as in the mirror. Even though it's cracked, you can see yourself as you tie your string on your bow, put it down, English longbow style, like pulling it back. And what are you bidding?
The bow? I don't know.
Okay. I mean, what do you bid to shoot?
Can I bid that bow to shoot?
All right. As you bid the bow, go ahead and throw down, and we'll see how much damage it does.
Okay.
Just to let you roll damage. You will hit, unless you roll 2 ones. So it'll be your grace or your brawn, because you're just pulling this back. It's an easy shot for you to make.
It's a D8 and a D10, and it's my grace, and that is a 3 successes.
Yep.
5 and a 9.
So 3 successes. All you needed was a 0. So threshold 0. So you get 3, and now roll your damage. It should be a medium, so it's a D4 plus 1.
D4 plus 1. So the D4 is a 2. So it's 3 damage.
No, it's 5 damage.
5 damage. Yep, you are correct.
Let's see. I could have sworn that a longbow was a heavy weapon. I guess it's not.
Well, I have long range. It's a medium bow is what I have. It's a D4 plus 1 is the one I have. So
I kind of like the idea of you having a
longer bow.
A little bit better of a weapon, but let's see.
I don't have.
Yeah, short bow is medium. A long bow. Let's see. Large hammers, pole arms, pikes, morning stars. Maybe not. Melee, blah blah blah. I mean, really, all it is it can go through certain kinds of armor, and it can shoot very, very far. Where are the ranged weapons? Crossbows, javelins, so forth, ranged. two-handed melee ranged weapons. Yeah, we're going to call it a heavy weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a D6 plus 1. So go ahead and re-roll it. And you can take the better.
Nice. And this is a 1. So
you can just take the better of it. Unless you want to re-roll.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So
I do 4
do 5 damage.
Or
5 damage. So you're going to take the better.
Yeah.
As you loose one of your arrows, one of your 20, as it hits the glass, you hear a crack, and you feel a piercing in your chest as you take 5 damage.
Oh, shit. Ouch.
As you kind of go down to a knee. There's no blemish whatsoever on your armor.
Mm.
You note Miriam does not.
Huh.
However, tell me high or low.
Low.
That was high. As you note, Golmuth also doesn't. Ooh. Tell me high or low.
Low.
That's a 1. That's good. Well, you said high the first time, right?
No, I said low both times.
You said low. Oh, as you see Golmuth does, as he's, what happened, my lord? As he's standing right next to you. Your horses don't take any damage either.
Oh, nice.
So Miriam and the horses don't take any damage, but you and Golmuth do.
Ouch. I'm on death's door.
My lord, you look pale.
I know. This door is defeating me.
This is called a mirror of regret, by the way.
What does all is given do again?
It allows you to. No, that's Mantle of the Chosen. Let me see. I believe it allows you to do 40 days and 40 nights type stuff.
Yeah.
And not need water and sleep and etc.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I'll make sure of it. All right, what do you do?
I'm gonna bid. Might is not working. So perhaps we need to take a different approach. There's no way to climb up this monolith, this tower.
You haven't tried.
I mean, just looking at the towers, there.
It's a stone tower. You could potentially.
I would like to bid one of my abilities, potentially, but this is how I want to do it. Because I've put force on this mirror, and I live in a world where magic exists, and I'm not the smartest person in the world. I think I might take my armor off.
Okay. You see that you're bleeding profusely, and you have hemorrhages. There's obviously cracked ribs and such. It's attacking your body.
Oh,
but there's no cuts on you.
One of the things I should have done was twice.
I will say there's some cuts. There's some cuts on you. What?
Something that I failed to do was bid unbroken either time. So it would have helped.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Can I bid unbroken?
Yeah, why not?
If I do that,
do it twice. You can do it twice a game session, so do it twice, and you can reduce the damage.
4, and then if I did it again,
I mean, it's essentially like healing.
If I did it again, that is 2, so that's 5.
So that means you negate the damage you just took.
Yeah, 5 damage.
Well, no, 6, because it's +1. Yeah.
No, it's 5.
It is.
Or it's 6. It's
6,
+1.
6,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't take the 5 and you gain a hit point.
Mm-hmm.
So you would take an 8 damage and you gain back 2. So you've taken 6 damage.
Yeah. So 2 and then 6. So that's 8. I'll have 8. Still, getting by this door of regret seems to be a difficult task. I might throw. So you think that you could peel some of this away, perhaps, Miriam?
I don't know if I should anymore. Every time you hit the door, it fucks you up.
Yeah. What
Although
do you
it didn't
think?
fuck me up.
What do you think?
Maybe it didn't like you.
What do you think if we approached it in a loving way, like if we gave it a hug or something? I mean, I knocked it. I shot at it. Perhaps a hug. What do you think? The
She
squire
just stares at you in the dark, her mouth open.
Golmath, why don't you give the mirror a hug? You don't have any armor on. I have armor on, which is...
You've taken off your armor.
Oh, well, oh, dang. That's not a good argument anymore, is it? Perhaps I should give it a hug.
All right. And this is where we're going to end. That you go up, and it's the scene where you walk in to the little thing and try to hug the door. That's where we're going to end for tonight. All right. So welcome to OSR. It's a little different than other things. Honestly, Dreadlore, the way that we play it is very OSR.
Yeah.
It's very sandbox, go in, do the thing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have to use your whatever. Interesting character. You definitely played up the 2 to your mind. Although a rank 2 is average.
Yeah.
It's not dumb. Rank 1 would be your...
Sure.
You don't have the intellect.
He's smart.
The thing is,
he's
what's
smart.
your wits?
He's smart at other things. Oh, you're right. I mean, mind is in, like, he doesn't know. Like, if he's in a situation, he's good at getting out of those situations. But
yeah, mind is more knowledge, strength of mind, that kind of stuff.
He doesn't know anything about this door. He doesn't know anything about this area.
But wits. If he has a high wits, which I think his wits is 4.
Yeah, it's a high wits.
It means he's rather clever, actually.
Yeah.
Or industrious or shifty. He's just not a mental giant. He's an average dude.
Yeah.
Well, I think you were definitely playing him a little obvious, a little obtuse, which is fine.
I mean, he's not educated, but he's street smart.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think that it's probably a bad idea to hug the mirror? I don't know.
There's no right answer to OSR
The right
stuff.
answer is getting through the door.
Yeah, it's how do you get through the door? There are rules.
Sure.
With the door, and then you're able to kind of do whatever makes sense, and that's how OSR works. Like, if there's a painting that is moving and it's mesmerizing you, and it's in the room, and every time it mesmerizes you, like, you just stop stiff and hours go by. Well, the question of how do you get by the mirror, or not the mirror, how do you get by the painting? Well, there's a blue million ways, or maybe there's one. In the new style of gaming, it's okay, what do I roll? Okay, I get through it. Or what do I roll? Ah, shit, I failed, so I don't go by it. In old school, it's you see, the fishermen on the lake, and there's a storm, and you're mesmerized and terrified, and you're making rolls, and then you come to roll a D12. 11 hours later, you walk out of the room famished and parched to the mouth, and your lips are cracked, and you're sitting there like pissing yourself. Oh shit, that's the deal. So what do? Okay, blindfold me, and I'm going to walk in and find my way around. That would be one way. Like, that it's like think of the Golden Fleece trials. How, what is it, Jason? He fights Medusa. He takes the shield and uses it as a mirror. He's like, well, maybe if I see her through a reflection, it won't work on me. That kind of stuff.
Right.
That's OSR.
Yeah.
It just means it's a lot more deadly in some ways.
Sure. Well, hugging a door is not necessarily the. I mean, I tried 2 other ways. It didn't work. I tried knocking. I tried shooting it.
Yep.
I was going with the more gentle approach.
Yeah. It's not necessarily wrong.
Yeah. It's not wrong until you find out.
I'm not telling you. Because that's a cool trap. That's a cool trap.
Yeah.
All right. GGP, baby. We made a new character. We ran through a completely new adventure, which is going to be a 1-page that I do. I think it's cool. It's called the Theurgist atop starring Hill, which is actually a short story that I wrote like 7 years ago that I just kind of pulled from out of my ass while we were starting up GGP. So hopefully that'll be kind of cool. That's it. That's what I got.
All right. Well, thanks for playing. Come back next week and
Come back next week.
At 3:00.
Exactly.
On Thursday.
We will either be continuing a Dreadlore thing or perhaps doing a completely different game, hopefully with a game creator. If not, then we'll be with one of our season 1 people.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.